Well, we're back again. Drea's back. Tell a friend. Drea's back, Drea's back, Drea's back. Okay. Alright, let's get our digitizing fingers warmed up. Alright, let's resize you 2 inches. Welcome all the people. All right, here we go. Welcome, 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 welcome. Okay. Oh, thank you for liking. Oh, another Drea. Hi, fellow Drea. Welcome to the Drea Show. Welcome. All right, let me see which direction this is gonna play out in, okay? Not quite the one I want it to. I'm gonna flippity flip it, okay? Because I like to go clockwise. Welcome. Appreciate the likes. Thank you bunches. All right, let me just verify this is going in the way I want it to. Wait, did I just flip you? Hold on. Give me a moment. This is why we need a warm up. There we go. Jeez, okay. Jeez Louise. Welcome all the people. All right. Do my usual. Get my and one also set up. This is my first thing of the day, so I'm getting my digitizing fingers warmed up with something easy. Just gonna be a Feltie design, and then we'll see where my little digitizing heart takes me. You have any questions? Feel free to ask. All right, I guess let's start in the middle. Why not? Why not? Welcome. All right, here we go. Starting off, we'll go here. Just a black. How long is this? Let me switch my. I gotta work in the millimeters. Hello. Thank you for the likes. Appreciate y'all. Or no. Oh God, what did I click? See, this is why we need a warm up round. I haven't digitized all week, so a little crusty dusty right now. Yeah. All right, let's see. Think of what we're doing here. We're ending here, therefore I should start here as acceptable. And I'm going to end down here because my thought now is I will jumpity jump like this. Yeah, now I'm gonna go up this way. Right? Stop there and here. So we gotta begin there. Oh my God, so many likes, you guys. I'm touched. I don't know that anybody likes me that much. Who knew? Hope y'all are doing good today. All right, now where will we exit? All right, so far, this is what we got. Oh, thank you for following. Love that. Love that for me. Love that for you. Thank you for liking. I just love all of it, okay? Today is just a day of love. All right, where am I ending? Ironically, this is like a Valentine's Day. This is not free, but it's hella affordable. Like, super affordable. let me get you a little deets on how much it costs. So it comes in a variety of levels. I am an affiliate, so I do have a link. So if you buy through me, I get credit, and then I get to come on here and do more lives. Okay, so that's the goal, right? Is that I could pay myself to be here. So let me show you what you need to get started, which quite literally is just level 1. And this is, oh gosh, no, what are you doing? Just show us the thing. Okay, so it's a stitch artist. It's all you need for level 1. And I'm only using, I mainly use level 1 functions. Okay, so people have a lot of misunderstanding about how does this work. Now, they do offer it in varying levels. Think of it the same as if you're playing Super Mario and you have to start at level 1. So everything in the subsequent levels, which would be either level 2 or level 3, are appropriately parsed out, because once you are able to do the functions in level 1, you're ready for the new things that you unlock with level 2. And then once you go from level 2, you go to level 3, and that pretty much just offers pathing functions, and it lets you do stuff that's like next level. So it streamlines your process. But you can't use level 3 unless you learn how to use level 1, or level 3 doesn't mean a damn thing to you. Okay, so you got to be able to do 1 first, and you can use level 1 at this extremely affordable price, which is currently on sale. You can get a link to this exact place if you use the link tree in my bio and my affiliate link. As long as I'm continued to get like paid from them, I'll be honest, as long as I keep getting paid from them, I'll keep coming on live and answering questions, because then I can, I'm trying to say, like, it makes sense for me, right? If not, then I got to go do my other job that does pay me instead of doing this for free, right? So I'm making it work. So if you have questions, ask me though. But level 1, I kid you not, you can make things. So if you are not here for the last live that I did, I only used level 1 functions. And let me show you what I made so you can see what I did only having level 1 functionality, okay? I'm working on this quilt blanket idea that I came up with for a baby gift. I did all of this, including creating the repeating patterns, just with level 1. And welcome all the friends. We're working with stitch artists. This is embroidery software to make embroidery designs. Okay, so I did all of this only with level 1. And if you want to remember how much level 1 cost, I was able to do this for this very reasonable price. And like I said, the more level 1 users I find on here, I'll come on. Thank you. It's super cute. I will probably be, so I'm working on a small Feltie design because I'm warming up my fingers. I haven't digitized all week. So I want to make something really quick so I can get back to this project. And so I will eventually be doing another one of these squares in this live. I don't know how long I'm going to be on live today. Probably till I get sick of it. So, I might be here for my whole workday. Who knows? We'll see how this goes. And also how many questions y'all have. Do I digitize for others? I take commissions on a case-by-case basis. Like, it's something you'll have to, like, reach out to me about. Like, it literally will depend, like, am I busy? Like, if I have availability and what your needs are and your turnaround time, like if we match up, right? If we match up, I will take them. But if not, let me type out in the chat who you should Google. I send everyone to this person. Just Google. I left it in the chat. Name for you in the chat. Google him. Excellent work. If I can't be the one to fulfill your needs, I would like for you to get someone who's very reputable, and this person's extremely reputable in our industry. So check him out. He does a lot of amazing things. His work is so good. Off topic, I just started, but my threads keep getting frayed and snap. How do I fix? Tell me, okay, give me deets. What thread are you using? are you noticing that it's a particular thread brand? Are you noticing it's all the thread? What is the brand of thread, if you don't mind me asking? Do you notice if possibly it's a certain color? Say, like, I know black tends to shred, and the reason behind that is because of the amount of dyes it takes to make thread black does actually affect the stability of the thread itself. So give me more. Give me more, and we'll suss it out. Okay, I will explain to you. Just tell me all the things. Oh, okay. Well, because it's bro thread, that's why it's fraying. It's not the best. Okay. I will give it this. It's extremely affordable, but I am not shocked that it's shredding. But what you can do, if you have a lot of it, in the meantime, make sure that you always have a new needle. Okay, switch out your needle, see if that helps. If it doesn't, they do sell thread conditioners, but that seems like such a pain in the butt to have to like condition your thread. I would say just go for a good quality thread brand, but in the meantime, make it work. And just make sure you got a new sharp needle, hopefully. Well, they lied to you. It is the best for TikTok, I wouldn't say, because like I feel like everyone comes on here and they tell you what's the best because they're trying to sell it to you and you can get it on Amazon or whatever. Like they push it to you, but like the brands that I use are ones that like they actually use in the manufacturing industry. Like when you go to say American Eagle or anywhere that has embroidery on it, they're not using bro thread. Okay, so I'm using like commercial type things, like stuff people are using in actual embroidery shops. So Madeira, Floriani, Isacord, Gunold, all of those are great. Never, ever, ever, ever had an issue. And I own every single one of those in some capacity. Excellent thread. And there's a variety of ways you can buy them. It will not be Amazon. Okay. It won't be Amazon. So it's not going to be an option. But you can go to places like All Stitch, or you can literally look up places like I think I go to Red Mountain Sewing or Red Mountain Threads, I think, to buy my Floriani spools. Or if you have a local quilt shop, I also buy mine from my local quilt shop, Mo Queen. If you're in Arizona, that's an option for you. I do buy thread from them. They do sell big spools, little spools, but those are brands you can get very easily. So, all right, my preference is the ones I just listed, and I will be super nice and I will type them in the chat because you may not know how to spell them, and that's fair. So we have Madeira, Floriani, Isacord, and Gunold. Gunold also goes by, I don't put parentheses, sulky, which you actually can get it at Joann. I know Joann is closing, but you can buy Gunold thread at Joann. So maybe when they're going out of business now, go buy up the sulky embroidery thread that they have and they sell at Joann. I literally just saw it yesterday. I went there. They have these nice little fat spools. Go buy them when they're going out of business. Because Gunold is sulky. When they sell it retail, for whatever reason, they change the label. I don't know why, but when they sell it in like mainstream stores like Joann, they go by sulky, but they are Gunold. The rep at Gunold told me that because I asked. I don't know why they do that. Why do people do that? Okay, sorry. Madeira, Floriani, Isacord, Gunold also goes by sulky. Find the names, they're in the chat. Make it easier for you to look them up. Again, if you want to know where can I go to get them, like here's All Stitch. All Stitch sells embroidery supplies. Okay, so let's pretend we're shopping here together. You're very super welcome. And so you can literally go thread, and they have all these different things. You're interested in Madeira PolyNeon. Okay, Madeira also sells Rayon. Rayon and PolyNeon are not the same. Differences you can see visually and when you hold it in your hands. Okay, one, PolyNeon is going to be shinier. It's going to look more vibrant. Why do we care? Because it can hold up to heat and speed very well because of the recipe that they use to make this. Rayon is duller in color, and you have to run it slower at your machine because it's more prone to breakage. And that is just what it is, okay? Rayon has a time and place, but if you're going to be doing this either on a commercial machine, and let me tell you, I've literally bought Rayon and PolyNeon and ran them both on my Melco at really fast speeds, and I saw exactly what they were saying when they were selling me the thread. It's true, it's fact. I've seen it with my own eyes. These things do literally happen. So if you want, because I know you can get like like frost thread, you'll have to run that low and slow at your machine. Make sure you got a nice new needle. Another thing as a tip for working with embroidery, if you have shredding, is to use a needle with a bigger eye. That kind of helps with the tension and the friction of all of those things, okay? All of that matters. So I would say safest bet, go for the PolyNeon brand, and you'll have options. You can either get what I call a big boy, which is a tall spool, or you can get a little mini spool, which is a shorty. Okay, if you watch my videos, I go by tall boys and shorties. These are the tall ones, okay, which you can't really see, but they're on that thread rack back there are all the tall boys, and this is how much they cost, and they have every color imaginable. Like, look at all these colors. You have so many color choices. Okay, or you can get a mini. I think mini's like $3.29 or something. Let's go verify that. Oh, $49. Sorry, it went up. It's $3.49, and they're little ones. Let me show you what that looks like. They are short. They're like this, so they're tiny, right? Big ones back there. This is a shorty. Those are the tall boys. Tall boys are just that. They're very tall, and they last a long time. My most popular colors, I think I have to buy like once a year on the tall boys. But what I like to do is if I'm not sure what color I want, but I'm going for something, like I'm always searching for like a really pretty deep blood red. And so what I'll do is I'll just buy a couple of what looks dark to me in the short ones. And then I'll use them, you know, and then whichever one's my favorite, I'll commit to buying a tall boy later once I finish that tiny spool. If I like it and I can go through a little spool, I then upgrade and buy the big boy. That's how I do it. So if you're wondering like, how the heck am I supposed to afford all these things? That's just something that I personally do. So there's one option. Another one is, I think it's red. Let me look up the red. Is it Red Mountain? Sewing, or what the heck is it called? Let me look it up. Is this what it is? Hold on, I don't know. Let me look. I'll just do Floriani for sale. I don't know. Red Rocks. Dang it. I always get the name wrong. This is where I buy from. Red Rock Threads. And they do flat shipping at $6.95. It's great. And you can get the tall boy, same thing. It's a big fat one, or the short one. This is what the short one looks like, right? It's just a different shape. I don't know why they all have to have their own shapes, but I don't know. Maybe something to do with like intellectual property. I don't know. But this is a short one, and they're so pretty. Floriani has some of the richest colors. Okay, I'm just gonna tell you that. My favorite, Cali Blue. Okay, if you don't know what to try, Cali Blue. That blue is beautiful. I use it all the time. Okay, and then everything else, like I said, you can Google. So like, for instance, I could like, let's see, who sells Ganold? I don't know anyone but Ganold. If you have a resale license, oh God, what did I do? Let me just Google it, because okay. If you have a resale license, they do have to verify your resale business license to buy from them. But this is what I do because I love them. So see how it says Sulky? That's the one they're selling at Joann. Same thing, you're looking for poly threads. I'll just do the mini cones. These are where I get mine. And look at the price is nice, right? So if you have a resale license in your state, you can apply for a business account at Ganold. They don't sell retail. You have to be a business to buy from them. So go see what they need for you and what's required from your state, and like you could get hella good deals also. okay? And this is Ganold. I have, okay, the thread rack behind this machine is entirely Ganold thread. I love it. They're also where I buy the glitter thread. Like if you followed my journey to making this glitter situation, it's this. I bought it here. So let's go thread. What do we call it? They also have glow in the dark thread. I've bought that too. Oh, they also have metallic. Okay, we're just gonna sidetrack for a minute. I also have this too. It's this is gold. It literally feels like when you touch it, like a gold strand. It's crazy. I also use it. Awesome, but you do have to run that hella low, hella slow. So I only use it for detail work, not huge pieces, but oh my god, it literally looks like melted gold. They're not kidding. It is, they call it Meti gold. It looks like melted gold. All right, back to thread. We are looking for our glitter. Okay, there's different kinds of glitter. This is like, okay, that's not the glitter I want. Where's the one? We're looking for sparkle. I'm just gonna type it in because half the time I don't get around this website very well. How can you tell? All right, this is what I have. And so this is how much I paid. This, which is this color? I think this is like a purple lilac. Let's see the exact one. Oh, it's this one. Pale pink silver. Look at how much I paid. Great deal. And it's beautiful. This one, it was silver, but because I use, oh, this is silver, the silver gold, but because I put it onto a gray blue, it now looks like blue glitter. So you can kind of play with it. That's why I like it. It's really good at blending with things. So okay, next question. What about stabilizer? Does brand matter? It depends on the project. I'll be honest. It depends on the project. So I would need to know for what. Say for instance, if I am making patches, hell yes, stabilizer matters and the brand matters, because I come over here to Ganold and I buy from them an 80mm thick plastic stabilizer specifically for patches. Like they literally have just a whole section of just like patch supplies. What are we calling it these days, guys? Specialty. They changed their website and now they got me all hella confused. They like to do that to me, I feel like. This is also where, if you've watched my video about how I said that I found an adhesive wash away mesh, I buy it from here. They're the only ones I've seen that have this, and I freaking love it. That's how I made this shirt without having to use 5,000 layers of cutaway. I did it with one sticky mesh and a piece of lightweight tearaway. And this shirt is thebomb.com. Okay. All right, where is my, oh, here we go, patch backings, before she gets distracted again. They have a whole section just for that. So this is what I buy from them. It's called Ultra Solvi. And this one is it's 80mm thick. This is the thickest plastic patch thing I've ever seen in my life, and it's excellent. Love it. It's excellent. So it is specific to your project. Now, if I, like, making this, did I use something specific? Yes, I used their adhesive mesh to stabilize the sweatshirt. Like I literally stuck it onto the back of the sweatshirt, and then I just used a piece of tearaway that I hooped in the hoop, and I got everything flat results. I don't think I did a video on how I prepped it. Maybe I should do that, but it's super easy and it gives you clean, crisp results like every single time. I've never had an issue just doing that. I never used a piece of cutaway on a piece of apparel a day in my life, and everybody loves my stuff. And the inside, there's no, you don't see that cutaway, look, you don't see that weird cutaway shadow. I hate those. I also hate wearing that because I get really irritated. So project specific, you will need good stabilizer. Outside of that, I quite literally just buy my tearaway on Amazon. I made this shirt with tearaway I bought on Amazon and the sticky mesh from here. Those two things are the winning combination for making perfect apparel every time. Every time, 100% of the time, all the time. So you're welcome. I don't use cutaway. I've never used it. But that's just me. Again, Like, this is what I tell people. So let me tell you the biggest well-kept secret. Stabilizer is to stabilize your fabric. Like, that is what it was made for. It's not made specifically for the machine, it's made for the material. That's why there's so many different kinds, because depending on your project, you kind of learn. So it's the same thing like when someone learns how to cook, right? And you're like, I only have these certain ingredients left in my refrigerator and I need to make dinner. You make do, right? You can do the same thing as long as you understand what that stabilizer was designed to do and how it was designed to be used. You can then engineer it to meet your needs. Like, then you get creative, which is why I took something like the mesh that I understand what it's going to do. It's a physical sticker that when you put it on to the back of anything, I even did it on the slinkiest material I could find. Quite literally, the slinkiest, I have a video on that, slinkiest, cheapest freaking material that I bought in the middle of the pandemic because I couldn't find anything. And it made it stand up like a piece of like cardstock paper that you use to make greeting cards. And everything came out flat and crisp because I did that. So I understand how to use it. So then I just apply it to what I want to do. So I took that same logic, applied it to this shirt, and because of that, it made my sweatshirt as stable as like a piece of cardboard. It ain't going nowhere. Because the reason we get issues is because of distortion. And your fabric moves. It stretches. This stretch shirt, it stretches. That's what fabric does. You need to learn about how fabric stretches, in what direction it stretches, how much it will stretch. Because what happens is if you have it stretched and then you put stitches in, you're essentially just freezing the stretch in however it was stretched, you're freezing it in place with stitches. And then of course when you take it off, it's going to stay like that forever. It's frozen in place. So I wanted to essentially pre-freeze it into a flat, normal way by using the sticker. So I just was innovative, is all it is. And no, I've never used cutaway because of that. Instead, I just, and here's the thing, it works. I'm not about to change how I do it because it works, and it works every single time. And I've tried it on a variety of density stitching. So I've tried it on a bunch of different situations and it works. I also tried it recently with iron-on mesh. It also worked with iron-on mesh. Did the same thing. I did buy the iron-on mesh at Joann in the Pellon section. It's, I don't have it in here, apparel iron-on mesh. It literally says apparel. The little top of the tab is pink. And it says apparel interfacing. I was like, oh, hey, this is apparel. This is interfacing for apparel. Why can't I just use that as a substitute for the people who can't get the sticker? I tried it. It works. So, again, they're going out of business. Buy a bolt from them. So, but yeah. So, no, I don't. Surprisingly, I don't use cutaway. Not for a single thing. And it's just literally because, like I said, I just understand how it works. So I make the stabilizer work for me. Let me put it that way. I make the stabilizer work for me. I'm not a slave to the stabilizer, which is what I feel like happens to people is they feel like just more stabilizer is going to save them. And you don't need it. You're the boss, babe. Okay, you don't need that stabilizer. You got this. You got this. You don't need it, okay? You can use quite literally what you have and make it work for you. That's what his job is. So, oh yeah. So I have some videos here. The video specifically that I was talking about. So, let me show you what the thumbnail looks like, and you can go look on my TikTok. Sorry, I don't know. No one wants to hear my actual phone. Because I know what it is. So let me find it. I think I put it under Machine Embroidery 101. Okay, I do have a Machine Embroidery 101 playlist. Let me verify before I send you down. It is. Okay, so on my profile, Machine Embroidery 101 playlist. You are interested in part 13. I know it says patch making secret, but this is the exact technique I used. Instead of using this cheap material, I just did the same exact thing to my shirt. And so, like, this is how it starts, okay? So, part 13 on Machine Embroidery 101. You'll see exactly what I did. I applied that same exact concept to the shirt. So what I did to this cheap fabric, I did the same exact thing to the inside of my shirt. Okay, so that's how I did it. And then I'm just making a note to myself. I think I'm trying to figure out what to put. I want to stitch out another. So actually, I need to go buy another sweatshirt because I wanted to put Lucy the Goose on a sweatshirt. And I think when I do that, I'll record it and I'll show you exactly how I did it with a sweatshirt. Okay, so you don't have to think, how do I apply what she just did to a sweatshirt? I will quite literally record it because I really want Lucy to be on a shirt for me. So, oh, well, thank you. I try to be on. I mean, I don't want to say I try to be honest. I just am honest and I can't help it. If you ask me, I will tell you what it is. So that's it. I just want people to make, like, here's the thing. Okay, first of all, when I started embroidery, nobody wanted to help me. Fine. That was this was like 8 years ago. Okay, so it's not like it was recently. No one wanted to help. Information was not given freely on the internet, which like now it is. Now people are like telling you everything on TikTok that every time they learn something they post about it. Like that is not how it used to be. And so I have accumulated 8 years worth of knowledge. And so I feel like, you know what, if someone asks me, I'm just going to tell them. And also because too, like, the next generation of machine embroidery users, whether you're a hobbyist or for a business, are coming in. And the ones that are leaving are so tight-lipped or they're just stuck in their ways that they just don't want to share. And I'm like, we need to not let this craft die. So here I am, just answering your questions because I enjoy embroidery this much, okay? And I want other people to make really cool stuff. And here's the thing, I don't want to gatekeep from you. I will tell you exactly how I did it because I also don't want you to waste your money because I know there's a lot of content out there and it's from well-meaning people, but they're also inexperienced. And sometimes it's like there's a dissemination of bad information and then we all develop bad habits. It's like we all pick up a smoking habit and we didn't realize and now we're all addicted to nicotine. Like that's what it feels like. So I would just love for you guys to run with it and like make it your own and give you the power and the tools so that way you too can be innovative, right? Because the only reason I figured out how to do this is because I just learned about what these parts mean and then I repurposed them. Like that's the beauty of this business of embroidery is it has a lot of room for creativity. You don't have to just do the one thing or do the same thing everybody else is doing. Like it quite literally has the ability for you to express yourself and we can all make really cool stuff and we can all just like thrive and vibe and do these things together. So that's what I want. Okay, I just want to see everybody and the cool stuff that they make and the ideas that come out of their brains because you guys all have something of value to contribute to this field. I would love to know what it is. Okay, so let's water the trees and see what kind of fruit y'all produce. Like that's what I want. Okay, and then I want someone to tell me something really cool that they learned, and then I'm like, oh, I want to do that. Like, I want to do that. Okay, I want to be a part of that. So here we are. Anyways, God, I got a little too touchy for me. I mean, sorry, I got a little soft there. Would I consider doing videos? I do have them. They're just on my Janomes. So I do have videos. Here's the thing, okay? And this will require your guys' help, okay? This is y'all's homework. Where I get ideas for new videos is based off of questions I get. Because believe it or not, okay, I have a terrible memory. I cannot remember this. I know I had struggles. I struggled. I was the struggle bus at the beginning. I just can't for the life of me remember what those troubles were. So if y'all could just tell me what we're having trouble with so I can just tell you the answer. But I just can't think up the questions sometimes. Like I have a block. I can't think up the questions. So if y'all just on videos, comment, DM me, I know somewhere, submit me questions some way, somehow, so I can get ideas for what content would be valuable. And if you have that question, guaranteed a bunch of other people have that question. I just need to know the question, okay? Drea needs to know the question. So send me y'all's questions. Because I remember struggling, like 100%. I remember struggling. I wish. You know what? I like really missed the mark. I should have like made a diary or something so I could remember like what it was that I had a hard time with. But damn it, I didn't. And I do have, and I have a multitude, I have different single needles. So I do have like the same 4x4 everybody else starts with. Like I have one of those in the box, brand new, never used. But I am like, my brain hasn't come up with ideas of what to do with it. So you guys help me help you. Okay, help me help you. Let's help each other. Okay, all right, back to thank you alarm. I did remember about myself. Okay, hold on, let me I gotta back up and see where she left off. Okay, we're gonna go here, here, here. Oh yeah, okay, and then I'm gonna go runny, instead of sunny side up, runny side up over here. Okay, you have an MC400E. Can you speak on pre-wounds? Oh, yes. Okay, so if you have a Janome, this is super simple, okay? I'll make it so easy for you. No magnetic. You will use no metal on a bobbin on that machine. So don't even look at those. Second of all, you need a Janome brand bobbin for your machine. I'll make it even easier for you. If you visit my Amazon storefront, I quite literally, and let's look at it together. I quite literally have a section for the Janome users, and let me tell you why. Because we have to buy exactly the right thing or the machine doesn't work. So I already have bought these. Okay, so here's the thing. When you buy pre-wound Janomes, if they're authentic, they're expensive. That's how you know they're real. So maybe don't buy pre-wound. What I do is I actually buy this exact pack, which I actually need to buy a new pack because I gave my mom my other ones. I buy this one, I use it, and then I just rewind them. And you can rewind them also with thread. Then I tell you what thread. What you rewind them with for the bobbin doesn't matter. As long as you have the high tension bobbin case inside your machine. There's a video for that. We got a Janome playlist, okay? There's a Janome playlist. Also on my profile. Buy these. Guaranteed they will work. They actually are made by Janome. You will have zero problems. Buy their bobbins. Then use that high tension bobbin case. So that way, when you rewind them, and it's not hard to wind them, okay? It's really not. I do it all the time. I've been winding my own bobbins for 8 years. It's fine. You'll be all right. I just buy mine bobbin thread like on Amazon or whoever I'm buying from at the time. If I'm buying at Goodall, I buy from them. If I'm buying from Adira, it doesn't matter because that high tension bobbin case allows you to use any weight of bobbin thread. It is the holy grail. So you can buy from wherever you want. You could buy the $5 one on Amazon. You could buy the Madeira brand. It doesn't matter the brand. It doesn't matter the weight. As long as it's made for a bobbin, you can use it. So this is how I do it. Step 1. Go buy these Janome brand because that's what you need. The plastic bobbin itself must be Janome brand. Point blank, period. Don't buy any other ones. They will not work for you. You will hate them. Buy what you're supposed to have. And then once you've used up every single one of those bobbins, go buy bobbin thread and then just rewind them. Reuse what you already have. Or you can buy this one, which is 180 pre-wound. But look at the price. That's the part that sucks is when you buy Janome brand, like it comes at a cost. So that's why I just rewind mine. Forget it. It doesn't take that long. Just rewind them. Okay. Wind them up yourself. This is how I do it. And these are legitimate because I buy using myself. So this is stuff like I actually buy. I have not bought those pre-wounds. I've been tempted, but every time I go and I look at the price, like I get shy. I'm not gonna lie. Get a little shy because that's more than I pay for a box for my multi-needle. The ones for my multi-needle is like $34. And I come over here and I'm like, oh, but that hurts. And then I don't do it. And then I go back and wind mine. Okay, it reminds me why I should just sit there and wind mine for 2 minutes. So that's it. Okay, so don't worry about magnetic. It's plastic. This is all you need. Don't look any further. Have I tried? Oh, what is that? I will have to Google it. On my subscription. Okay, so the subscription service is okay, yes, there are a lot more videos. Is it on here? Uh is it this one? Sorry, it's on one of my browsers. Maybe it's not this one. It'll be where is it, Drea? Spreadsheets, right? She obviously doesn't do this often. Oh my god. Okay, well, let us see then. I think this is where I made it. Yeah, it is. Okay, so this is what you get when you do the subscription thing. These are all the videos, and they are parsed out by topic. God, Trey, I can't think. So for instance, like basics is like what's a native file, what's a stitch file, how to prepare your artwork, how to import an image. There's like an exercise on how to choose the right point. Another one, how to save your work file, stitch length. Some of these are really long. And then it's like things that we're like digitizing with Drea, like how I digitize a Feltie only using run stitches, how I made a cherry patch. And then I give you guys the same graphics so you could try to make the cherry patch, how to export videos, how to make a whole, what to deal with SVGs. All these are applique. Then these are just things that are like building upon the first basic section, like what the heck is a bow tie, how do you overlap fills, what the heck's a travel stitch, how to simplify your artwork, how do you remove overlaps, line work, and there's stuff about like how do I use fonts, how do I make text on an arch, how do I make text on an object, and then in the Hoop projects, how do I make a keychain, how do I make a charm, how do I decorate a blank charm, how do I make something that's a regular shaped, patches, where to start, how to make a simple patch outline, how to do an applique patch, adding light fill, regular shape patches, bean stitch lettering, block line lettering. Like these are all the things that we've already talked about here. One is I show you how I review and correct my test sew out. And then another one is like I teach you how to do what I call test swatching. I literally test swatch, and it's how I get new. That's how I developed this fill. This was not auto settings in Stitch Artist. I hate to tell you, this was Drea using this test swatching to figure out how to get the best layering technique so that way it looks 100% opaque, but it's not using 100% opacity in the properties. How'd I do that? I did this technique. Okay. So, like, believe it or not, there's things like that. And then, for instance, when we talk about tiny text, next to it, obviously, you click on this link to a Google Drive and you can actually get the same graphics so you could follow along and do it with me. But that's what you get. And then, if you choose the key line, which is the top tier, we go on Discord and I go live like this, except it's twice a month, 2 hours at a time. So for a total of 4 hours. And I will teach you guys whatever you want to know. And then I have people who also submit work and I work on their files. And then I send them back with my edits. So they get a lot more. It's kind of funny because like they kind of get digitizing for free. Well, not for free, but like for the price of their subscription. For $10, they get a file digitized, kind of what happens. And then I explain to them what I did, why I did it, and tell them to test run it. Or if they say, I made this file, I'm having issues. Why isn't my text looking right? Can you fix it? Can you explain to me? And then pretty much what it is it's group learning. The community in that tier, I'll get to see it also. And for the people that cannot attend the live, because it's always in the morning, I record it and then they get a special private YouTube link that they can go to, and only the people in the tier can watch it, and they can watch it for 5 days. So they get a week to watch it and then it goes away. And so there's no like collection of live replays. They just get to watch it for 5 days after that live so they can catch their questions. So most of the time people submit their questions ahead of time and then they'll just watch the video later on YouTube so they can fast forward, skip, and do all that, and they don't have to commit to sitting for 2 hours, which totally get it. But that's the difference. So you spend more time with me or you see my face a lot more. live on the top tier, and then the subscription, you get access to the catalog. Both tiers get access to the catalog. The bonus for the people on the top tier is they get me on Discord, and we also have a Discord together where they can ask me for help at any time, even if it's outside those live sessions. So we spend a lot more time together in varying ways, or they DM me, or we send stuff back and forth. So we have more constant communication, whereas the other one, you only see me in pre-records. You don't really interact with me outside of that, if that makes sense. So sorry, I just like rambled for a long time. You're trying to stitch your file from Embrilliance, but since it's the same it's the same color, but it keeps stopping. I have questions. What do we mean? Like, is it the same color? I would love to see it. I'm going to, well, let me put my, okay, you can find me at Drea, at Designs by Drea. So I'm gonna, okay, so I'm gonna, all right, so take away the spaces, okay? If you email it to me, we can look at it right now, if you can, so I can see what you see. Because it's hard to answer sometimes when, like, I don't really know what we're talking about and it's all theoretical, but like, I'm so hands-on. If I can see it, let's talk through it. Because I want to see what you see. I don't want to give you an obscure answer that makes no sense, or it really doesn't solve your problem, because then what the hell is the point of me answering if I really can't answer your question? So, all right. Okay, so if you have a MB4, you're going to treat it like my MB7 back there. Those have metal bobbins, and I can actually get that one. You get these you get these big mama bobbins. No pre-wound. You wind them yourself, but it's hella easy. You get these big ones. They're huge. They're so much bigger than the other ones. These are hefty. Like, I don't switch these out very often. I go quite a while. Like, it's so much bigger. My multi-needles are tiny. Let me see if I have one. To show you how much bigger they are than a normal bobbin. Pop it out of the Melco. Okay, so like, this is the one I have to buy for my... This is how much thread that one can hold. This one's like bigger. It's bigger than it. Oh gosh, how do I show you this? It's like significantly bigger. God, I can't do this. You can do it. It's bigger. It's fatter. Oh God. Is that how you do the... It's bigger. It lasts so much longer. And the hole is actually narrower too in the middle. So overall, you get more bobbin on it. Like, here's one that's full. And these suckers last a long time. They last a long time. Like, a long time. It's not very often that I flip. I go through these like nobody's business. Those, I don't switch it as often. And I run the same designs on both. This one lasts a lot longer. So use the ones that come with your machine. If it didn't, perhaps Google Janome and before metal bobbin, and buy the ones that are from Janome, because these suckers they're big, they're huge, they are huge bobbins, and they hold a lot. So if it didn't come with them, because the new ones do come with them, so if it didn't come with them because you bought it used, find them, because they're gonna last you so much longer. And you have a function to I think it's like mine, because I have an extra like thread stand just for the bobbin thread on the MB7, and I assume you do too. And the winders here on the side, it's so easy. It's so easy. I wish my other one was that easy. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Yeah. So that's what they're talking about. The thread rolls behind the machine. So look, let me see. Can I roll her over here? I mean, it's not plugged in, so I should be able to. Let me see if I can move my camera to show you. Oh God, I didn't mean to do that. Nobody wants to see that. Okay, where's your forehead? This is just for the bobbin. That's all this for. So mine has 7 needles. So this is an 8th stand, and it's just for your bobbin thread. And it is at the back. And at the side, there's this where, do you see that? Look, it comes over here, comes down here. And this is what will, I mean, it's not on, but I'm just going to show you like how it would work. It goes there. You take this, you know, you wind it around, whatever, and then you push this up, and this would turn, and then it spins it and does it for you. When it's done, this pops down, you take it off, and there's a little cutter here. You cut it off, and then you have a fully done thing. So yeah, this is what they're talking about. On the back, there's an additional thread stand, and I just leave it there, like, until it's empty. It was full, but I probably have to switch it out soon, but that's all you do. It just stays there. It's so convenient. I love it. It's like the best thing ever. I wish you could do that with other ones, but you can't. Like, I wish the single needles let you do that, but it's not an option, so. Hey, if you have any questions, how do you sign up? There's a link in my link tree. Sorry. Oh, here we are. Actually, will it let me? Hold on. I'm gonna try to do this way. See, so if you go to my link tree, this is what it would look like. Oh, there's something for free. There you go. Plug, that's free. In case you guys know, there's other free designs as well. We are looking for Digitizing with Drea. This is for virtual sessions that are private, and then this one's for the membership, and it says membership in parentheses. When you click on this little fella, it takes you here, and this is where you'll decide how things go. And yeah, so you get a replay of the live sessions for 5 days after the sessions, but that's how it goes. Or you do the one-time private session, which is me talking at you for either an hour or an hour and a half, your choice. And it's just a one-time thing. It's not a reoccurring commitment. I will tailor it to exactly what you want to know. And I ask you ahead of time a bunch of questions, such as like, how much experience you have, what it is that you want to do, how much do you know, and then I will quite literally tailor a lesson for you in an hour. And you've seen how I talk. I can talk really fast in an hour, so I try to give you as much as possible. With this one, though, I record our session. Reasons why I do that is we meet on Google Meets. I record our meeting, so that way you can spend most of the time asking me questions instead of stopping to take notes. I want you to ask me as much as you can so you can get the most out of your time with me. And then once our meeting's over, Google renders the file, they send me an email, and once they're done and they have it ready, I will then share it with you. And then you can download it and watch it a bajillion times if you want. I don't care. But you can go back and see, how did she do that? What did she say about this? And I'll show you what that looks like. Let's make Google Drive. So see, look, I'll prove to you that I have, let's see, look, recorded sessions. So all these are sessions I've had with people, and I literally will give them the link to download that for themselves, and then they can watch it. And then I have a copy too. So like if they're like, oh my God, I lost my link, you sent it to me again. Fine, but I do have them, and then they can re-watch them. I think that's most helpful because you shouldn't be pressured to remember what I said in an hour. You should be able to watch it again. You paid for my time, and that's the product you get at the end of it, is your own recording, which is why I tell people, like, come with your questions. And especially if you want to also come with your graphics in hand, like some people do that. They're like, this is the exact project I want to work on. Talk me through it. And then I do. And then they have a recording of that. And then I will send them, like, let's say it is a working file. Whatever I did, I will then send it to them, and then they can like pick up where we left off, or I don't know, click around to see how things look or whatever. But yeah, it's theirs. It's their product. That's what they paid for. So if you're wondering how does that look, that's what you get, and that one's yours forever. Like I said, it's a one-time thing, unless you decide to come back. I do have some students that do come back for other sessions because maybe they want help with a project, or I don't know. Some people just like to come back and do more stuff together. Um, but yeah, that's what you get out of me. So, anyways, okay, where are we at? Oh, tiny plastic ones. Weird. Okay. Oh. Hatch I use on this PC that I'm streaming on right now. I do have my iMac next to me. I don't have I didn't do like a virtual Windows thing to use it on my Mac. So since I have two different computers, and the reason I have this computer is because my Melco runs off a PC, so I had to get a Windows thing. So it turned into my streaming PC slash Melco operator. And luckily enough, TikTok only lets me have this like streaming type fun platformy looking thing if I do it on here. So, but it is here also. I use Hatch on here. Yeah, I'll show you. Look, there's will I show you? Oh, can't see, but it's over here. The little, it's on this computer. That's where I use it. Wait, I use it here. Okay. All right, I will periodically keep looking for questions. More than likely, I mean, today's kind of a chill day for me. I'm just kind of doing like whatever, so even if you leave and come back, like odds are I'll still be here for questions. Yeah, I'd say it was like the first day I didn't have like something going on, so like I just like just feel like hanging out today. Level 1. To do like you don't need, believe it or not, most people I get only by level 1. So I will show you how to optimize that level. And then when you decide it's time, okay, so here's the thing. I was live last week here on TikTok. I exported that recording on over to my YouTube channel so people could watch the live, because I rewatch it or replay it. And here's what I did. I put time, I'll just show you. I made timestamps, okay? YouTube, what is it? What am I? God, I should just use my link tree. I don't even think I know what my thing is. Just kidding. I have no clue what it is. All right, cool. It's in the link tree. So here it is, and I'm gonna show you. Okay, I'm not gonna play it. But what I want you to know is that when you look in the actual comments, I did timestamps of everything that I talked about. And this is coming back, circling back to level 1. For instance, look, satin letters with level 1. And then I showed you what the difference is to do satins with level 2. And then I went further to say satin letters level 1 versus level 2. So if you look at my stuff, anytime I do a live or anything that's really lengthy and I publish on YouTube, know that if you look in that description, there are timestamps. Go find what interests you. And so you only need level 1. And I spent a lot of time teaching people how to make the most out of their level 1. And most of the stuff I did last time was level 1. But notice, if I do something like right here that's not level 1, I'll put in parentheses that it's a different level function. If I didn't put that, I did it in level 1. So look how much time I spent doing stuff in level 1. A lot of time. Most of the time I do stuff in level 1. Right now, I've used level 2 once, and it was just to curve my, it was it, just to put these little doodads there. Other than that, level 1. I haven't done anything else. I'm not doing anything fancy. Level 1 is very powerful. Like, I think it's highway robbery that they only ask for so much to do level 1. Like, it's crazy, okay? Especially given how much I paid for Hatch, that I paid for, you saw the price. And I'm doing all the things, okay? All the things. Full digitizing capability. It is wild. People don't realize, like, they're basically giving it away. I mean, I'm not saying, I'm just saying, but they're basically giving it away for free, practically. Quite practically, it's just for free. Okay. Oh, let me save this. I didn't even save it. So let me put this in. Oh, sorry. Save this. What was I calling this? Drea. Words. Holiday. You're welcome. Yes, it is Mac compatible. Most of my videos I show on my Mac. The only reason I'm not on Mac today is because the TikTok Studio doesn't work on iOS, or I would. And here's the thing too. What also is super cool is you can actually, oh, hold on. Let me see if let me do this real quick. Let me open it up. Oh, let me open Embrilliance and show you. You can actually use, if you have a compatible iPad, you can actually mirror your iMac. Let me show you what I mean. Okay, let me turn this bad boy on. So here's this is my iPad Pro, but I've also did this on, I had a, what is it, the 10.9 inch iPad prior to this. I bought this for work, so I upgraded because I was literally like this, doing all my digitizing. So here we are, displays. Sorry. I'm going to show you that I'm going to put it on this right here. Just wait. Okay, it's going to change. All right, this is my computer. Do you see all the little buttons for my computer? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make and drag Embrilliance over. Look. Stitch Artist. What, Treya, did you just do? I know. Oh, sorry. I know, right? I know. And this is it. It's right there. And now I can use my Apple Pencil as my mouse and like drop points and stuff. Let me click this for myself because I can't see. Let me get my files. I'll open something, watch, and show you. So you can see that it looks, see, look, here it is. There's Stitch Artist. All right, now let me find the file. See, what did we work on last time? All right, so this is what we were working on the last live. Oh, there it is, look. And it's got all the things. And where is my, do I have a, let me look and see if I have an Apple Pencil around here. Usually I do. Drea does. Okay, well, let me pair them. Yay. Oh, it's at 0%. Okay, so here she is, right? And this is Stitch Artist. All right, cool. All right, so I'm gonna try to do this like without looking, but do you see, look, I click on stuff. Let's see, come on. Oh, we're not in Stitch Artist. See, look, I have all the same compatibilities. Look, I can move stuff. Hold on. All right, it's hard to do it. I'm like not touching it. Oh, come on. Oh, see, look, see, I can do all the things. I can do everything. If I make a new one, I can then drop my points. See this? Dropping my point. Look how easy it is to trace things. I mean, come on. This is wild. So this is what I do. What I do is, and here's the thing. I get this question a lot. Will this work like if I walk away from my iPad, my iMac or my laptop? No. This is just monitor number 2 for your Mac. So you still need to be by your mouse. You still need to buy your keyboard, especially if you can use keyboard shortcuts. You still need to be by it. But what I do is like, I'll have it here on my desk and I'm drawing all my points. I'm so fast, right? I'm so fast tracing. Like, it's so crazy. I'm over here and I'm like, oh my God, I feel like so fast. And I'm like, geez, I could pop out like 1,000 designs right now. And then what I do is when I'm done, I just say that I want to disconnect. And then it comes back up here on my computer. And then that's when I make changes like density changes or like, you know, settings and stuff and changing colors. But for point pathing, I will do that there and then just like disconnect and then it shoots it back to the Mac. and then it'll look like we're right now. And then I just make minor adjustments. Maybe I want to change the arrangement of things. Maybe I want to change a color. Maybe I want to, whatever adjustments I would like to make, I then do it. But guess what? I did all of my line work like that. It's great. Okay, sorry. I'm back to, oh, duh, I'm saving this still. What was it called? Oh, pizza. Oh, pizza is forever. That's what it's called. Forever. Like, I think I spelled pizza wrong. So yeah, that's why I love this for that purpose. And then if you're like me, I have what I call lazy days, and I actually use my what's it called? My MacBook. What the hell? I can't think of words. I use my laptop and I take it and I quite literally work on the couch. Oh, sorry. I have to do this thing to prove that I'm real. Okay, fine. I'm real. And sometimes I digitize from my couch while I binge watch stuff on TV. My secret's out, so there it is. That's what I do. It's kind of funny. Sometimes I'll do that. I would actually quite literally probably be doing that if I wasn't here talking to you guys. I would be watching TV and doing this from the lazy boy in the living room. Gosh, it's that easy. It's great. I freaking love it. So yeah, feel free to ask. That was a good question. Thank you. One would think I set you up to segue us into talking about Mac. Not sponsored, except Embrilliance does. It's sponsored by Embrilliance. I really do love the software. I use both. I won't lie. People are like, "Oh, much I have Hatch." I do have it. I love it also in a different way, you know? In a different way. There's different things I like about it, but like I will always be a Stitch Artist girly. Because it just they have so much to offer. And the software does not make it the digitizer. It's the person pressing the buttons, because I can make just as great work on either of them. I do it all the time. Nobody knows what software I use to make which of my designs. Why do I like it? So what I liked, okay, so first of all, I decided to learn it quite honestly because I wanted a challenge. Like, I've always been this way. Like, fun fact, I graduated college with 2 separate degrees. And then I went for a third while I was pregnant because I could, and I love learning. So since I don't, can't get paid to go to school for forever, now this has been my new obsession. So like once I like really learned Stitch Artist, I wanted a new challenge. So I thought, what if I dropped myself in a new software? Will I sink or swim? And then that's how I picked Hatch. The next one I want to do is I can't decide. I'm trying to figure out if I want to drop myself in Embroidery because it's also an affordable software, or if I want to commit to Floriani Total Control, which is hella expensive. Because I want to expand on our learning together, and I want to show you that like doesn't matter the software, anybody can do this. But what I like about Hatch is just like simple things. They do the same thing, but for me, when I want to go use Hatch, it sounds weird, but like I just want to like change things up. Like I change the scenery. Like maybe instead of walking the same path I walk every day, maybe I go walk at the park. Like that's what it is. And I enjoy things like I really like it to. I like their I like some of their shortcuts that they have. Another thing too, I'm really big on learning what your keyboard shortcuts are. The only thing I want to figure out is like I want a tablet so I can do the same thing I do with my iPad, because it does take me longer to work in Hatch because I'm using a mouse, whereas in Stitch Artist I go like 1,000 miles per hour with my iPad. Like I want a drawing tablet to give it a real shot. But I enjoy just like weird buttons or functionalities that they have. I like drawing with their blocks, so like lettering is fun. The thing I don't like is for line drawing. I pick Stitch Artist every time if it's going to be a line drawing, because over there you cannot move your starts and stops. Like here I fudged them all. They're these little bow ties and I move it. Over there you have to make each path separate to like return. So I would have to make one path here, make another path to return, then go up. Here I don't. I just cheat and I do this, and I like that. So that's something I don't like. But I like over there just like a change of pace. I like the buttons sometimes. I really like their reshaping. It's fun sometimes that then there's different. They don't have Beziers there either. So that part I don't like all the time. But sometimes it does feel easier. I don't know. It's weird. It's hard to explain, but they're enjoyable in different ways. I have fun in both. But I will tell you 100%, if I'm going to do a line drawing, I am not going over there. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. You won't catch me over there because it's so much longer. It takes me so much longer to have. I basically do like double the pathing, and I just Stitch Artist has made me like a passenger princess over here, and I just don't want to go back to manual drawing like that. So, but I do enjoy it. I do make there are patch designs that I've made in both, so I've shown people that you can make patches in either of them. The thing, what I really love about them is, okay, and this is something so minute, it doesn't even matter. Over there, when you export your applique to an SVG, I find that the SVG exports so much smoother, the lines are smoother, and the cuts are cleaner than when you export from Stitch Artist. But I don't do a lot of that. But for people who do, like if you do, I think like varsity jackets or like those like sorority fraternity, like Greek life jackets, like that would probably matter if you're doing really big appliques, or like for jerseys, like for those people that stuff matters, but like for me it doesn't. But if I ever want to say make my life easier and use a cutter, I would probably make the applique pieces in Hatch because of the way that it exports is so much cleaner, and I haven't had as hard of a time with it. But yeah, that's other than that, it's all the same. It's all the same, okay? It's all the same. They just look a little different. They got different haircuts, okay? But they're all the same. Everything's the same. It's all the same. The price is different, though. Oh, I did see that he has new software coming out. I've seen some YouTube videos. Let me tell you something, Scorpio. I am also a Scorpio. Sorry, not that you asked me, but hey. I too am the passenger princess in my life also. If I don't have to drive myself somewhere, like, hell yeah. Why would you have a pro? Excellent question. Why would we need an SVG file? So if you have ever, so in applique, the way it works is, let's look at an applique. Okay, so let me go show you an applique. Let's look at one that I've done so we can have a for instance reference. Okay, we'll go, let's just say this one. Okay, so this, let's look at the big one. This is an applique, and what we do is essentially we put fabric in place of where stitches would have been, right? So it's like a stitch saving method, and plus it allows you to use like patterns. Like usually when we have thread, it's kind of just boring, right? It can't be like this. There's rose colored there's rose patterns in the background, there's floral work, like all that we would have to like map out and whatever. Fabric's just fun. You get to express yourself with applique. I freaking love applique. So on this, the applique pieces are one, the big cassette, the little part at the bottom where it's like the tape cover, and then where the label is. All those three pieces were applique pieces. So they would have to be cut out. Now, if I wanted to use an SVG to embroider, what would happen is I would go into this file, which I'll show you the file. Where's the applique for this one? Dark. Let me get it, and I'll Wool for instance. Okay. This is what it looks like. All right. No fabric. Each of these are the shapes, right? And how applique works is you will put the fabric down. It will then sew the fabric to whatever your main fabric is. And then you have to go in there and cut it with scissors. Okay, you have to cut it. That's what I did here. I cut it. Now, SVG means you don't have to cut it. It pre-cuts the shape. So it looks like a sticker instead. So when you put it down, you just cover the tack down lines and it sews it down, and it alleviates you from having to actually cut close to those stitches because it's already the exact shape. And you can actually export these shapes. You say export and it will save it as an SVG. And then if you have like a Cricut, a Silhouette, or a laser cutter, you can then cut it out to the exact shape you need to cover this, and you don't have to go in with scissors later and trim down a larger piece. So it's like a cheat sheet. So I say that like it's helpful for people who do like these big Greek life letters on jackets, or let's say they're doing jerseys and it's like the big number 11 and it's what is it called, like athletic twill in there. They cut out that 11 on like their laser cutter, and then it looks like the number 11, and then they just like, you know, spray it, put it on over, and then it stitches it down in place and then covers it up. It appliques it for them. So it's like a cheat way to applique without having to go in there and cut. Could you imagine if somebody's making jerseys for an entire basketball team and have to sit there and cut out every single letter on every single jersey? Well, that would take forever. So this is a way to streamline your process. Please tell me that made sense, because I hope it did. Sometimes I don't know. I go off on wild things. I don't have a video. But let me open it. It does take a while, so let me have it open in the background, and I'll just literally show you. It's a button. It's a button. It's one button. It's a button. It's not hard. So, where do I get inspiration? Because I myself am dark and twisted. It's just, here's the thing. I like to sell stuff I like, okay? Like, that's where it comes from. Like, the reason I decided to kind of like throw my hat in the ring was because I wasn't finding anything that Drea liked. So I'm like, well, there has to be other people like me who also like this stuff. So maybe I can find them, because nobody else is doing it. So, entree Drea. So that's the thing too. I don't put out stuff I don't also like. So if I made it, it means I liked it, and that's why I put it out there. So it's a curation of things that I think are cute or funny or edgy, or it's my personality. Whatever you see me selling is some aspect of my personality that I am selling, hoping that you guys will like it, and I'll find people like me. Okay, so my membership is Stitch Artist based. Where were we? Over here. What you get is, if you're a part of the squeeze, which people always like, they never understand. Okay, I love lemons, okay, guys? And lemons are in my logo. Like, the D in Designs by Drea is a quarter of a, it's like a half of a lemon wedge, okay? People are like, what? Like, literally, there's a lemon right there. I love lemons, okay? Like, literally, I love lemons, okay? I love them. So I based my subscription off of my love of citrus. So the squeeze is literally based off of, like, you know, squeeze, lemon, limes, and then the one up from that is a key lime. So that's the tier up, is a key lime. If I ever make another one too, it'll probably be something else. And my help sessions are actually called lime and then aid, like Band-Aid, lime aids. If you're a key lime, you get lime aid, you get help. And that's what I call it. Instead of like a lemonade, I meshed up lime, lemonade, and Band-Aid and came up with a limeade. So if you go to a limeade, that's when Drea's gonna help you learn how to do stuff, okay? Because people like never understand. When I'm like, oh, you're part of the squeeze. The squeeze is because, like, you know, squeeze the juice, you're getting all the good stuff. Here you get access to this still here? Drea's Squeeze Video Library, which is all this. Quite literally, I will, if you have a Gmail, I will send you a link so you can see all these. All these have YouTube links that will take you to a pre-recorded video. So say, let's see, like, let's look at this one. If I click on this, it'll take me
Welcome to the All About Running Stitches video. We are going to go very in depth all of the running stitch running.
Like this is what we're gonna go over. I'm telling you all the running stitch types are. I even have on this one a video of so you can see what they look like
as to how many number of passes you can have before proceeding on to the definition I needed, and also how small of a space that I have. Because if you have a really tiny space,
then you'll have something like, there's also videos like this one's the tiny text video, because I got a lot of questions about tiny text. This one,
welcome back. Today of challenges already. Add in tiny text and it just becomes a train wreck. Also, when you're trying to make tiny text onto knit fabrics, it's going to be a little bit more difficult than say onto a cotton or onto a poly twill. So depending on what we're using, we need to know, because we're going to have to think about how the material is going to affect our stitches. How will it retain our stitches? Can it hold it up? How much stitching can that fabric take in a small amount of space? These are all things you have to think about, right? Even the quality of t-shirts that you buy or sweatshirts that you buy are going to impact how well it will be able to hold up all of this tiny stitching. Now, generally speaking, the top thread that we load onto our machine is a 40 weight. There are varying weights of thread out there. Generally, all of our thread weight is a 40 weight thread, right? And we typically use a 75/11 universal needle with that thread. Also, the weight of the thread is going to determine how our tiny text stitches out, because at the end of the day, we are layering thread to get some type of effect, right? That's what embroidery is layering of thread to get varying effects. There's a fine line between small, fine details and blobs. There are other weights of thread that may better support certain fine details. Instead of using the general purpose 40 weight embroidery thread, we could opt for using something out of our toolbox, say perhaps a 60 weight thread, in order to work on the small details of tiny text. So just know that there are other tools in your toolbox that can help you with your lettering. They're not going to give you perfect lettering on their own. It's simply a tool to help you facilitate good tiny text. A needle is also in your toolbox, okay, and there's different types of needles for a reason. Now, if you're going to be opting for using the 60 weight thread, just another little helping hand, also use the 65/9 needle. This will not be a band-aid for tiny text you've already digitized, and it's going to solve all your problems. They're simply tools. You still have to go in and digitize the tiny text for its size, and then use these tools to help achieve those finer details. So here are some of Drea's tips for tiny text. You should not have satins that are thinner than 1 millimeter thick. Satins will always shrink. They're always going to shrink. And the thinner the satin, the more it's going to pull into itself. Jumps are your friend. Using jumps to transition at the bottom of letters from one jump to another is going to significantly help you with your tiny text. And there will be instances when you cannot use a jump. In those cases, you can actually use and force a jump by utilizing a connector. It's simply one stitch that will take you from the end of one satin letter to the beginning of the next. Now, this one is super important. You need to make sure that you have connecting underlays underneath your tiny letters. If your letters so happen to have quote-unquote holes, I'm thinking the letter P, the letter E, the letter A, the letter O, you get the idea. This is the sweet spot. This sweet spot will allow you to have clarity, and someone can actually see that that is a letter O, that is a letter E. It'll look like the letter is open. That hole will look open, and it won't look like a weird blob. Remember, you can always use the ruler by hitting M on your keyboard to measure the hole that you have in your lettering while you're digitizing. All right, so this is an extra tip for you for tiny text specifically. Make sure and run your machine.
Is it both of them? Sorry. Oh, it's this one. Is this one? No. Oh my god. Sorry. Oh, that's annoying. I'm so sorry. I apologize. Oh, sorry. Well, I don't know at what point that happened. I don't look here. I'm sorry. Apologies. I didn't even know that it was... I can't hear what you hear, obviously. All right, ain't that crazy? All right, so let's say... oh, wait, that's not what I wanted. Oh, no, I picked the wrong one. Not what I wanted. You were asking me how to... open. Sorry. Let me find this so we can do this. Where was this one? You asked me about exporting an SVG. All right, so this is like my most popular thing that I sell. All right, let's say I wanted to SVG this. Sure. There's actually in the... Okay, so there's different things you can do. There's like applique situations. You can actually export things as an applique out of this thing. So let's say, let's see. Let me make this into a... Okay, let's pretend this was applique. Sounds great. There's a lot of things you can do in here for your applique pieces. Let me see. I think it's an output. Sorry, I have to give... I was in the other one. All right. When you're here, different things you can do to output designs. One of them... Oh, shoot. It's in the... Let me shrink this because you can't see. This is all you need to know. My face was on it. Use verify. Nope. All right. So over here, when you're asking how to output for SVG, there's this thing that says export for cutting. And if you look, it says export the current design or objects to an SVG file. It's super easy. That's what I said. You don't need a whole video for this. It's a button. And then you'll say your preference, right? Like, what do you want to export? I'm going to say selected object only. I just need the one thing, the flag looking part of the patch. You'll say, it'll ask you, where do you want me to save it to? What do you want to call it? Whatever. And then you just say export. And then it'll send it and shoot it to wherever it lives on your computer. Here. It's super easy. So I said, like, you don't need me to do a whole video about exporting. The video's not still playing, right? I can't hear what you guys hear. Just let me know. Did I fix it or do I need to close the whole thing? Okay, I'm assuming that. Oh crap, hold on, my phone is ringing. I have to put myself on mute. Yeah, I'm on mute, but I'm still reading your questions. Sorry, I just had to take this phone call real quick. But I'm still reading, and I'm still here. All right, new to digitizing and wondering. Oh, for the one-on-one, I doesn't matter to me where you're at in your journey. I can help you at any point. I would say all I need is just to know that about you. And like I said, I tailor it to you. Most people that I work with actually have zero digitizing experience. What is most helpful is if you have some embroidery experience. I care more about that than have you ever digitized something before, because it's hard to explain to someone how to make something when they've never actually had to go through the process of stitching something out. So that's what I care about more, is that you have embroidered and you have some experience and you know what it should look like, so that way you can have an eye to say, oh, I know this looks odd. You can see that, right? You'll be able to have that kind of sense of like, oh yeah, that doesn't look right. But no, I don't need you to have anything. I am prepared for either you having experience or not having experience. Either way, I teach people in all kinds of different spots in their journey. I've had people who I would say are going from like are trying to go from make that jump from like intermediate to advanced. Like I've had people who are like, literally, I just bought this yesterday, help me. Everybody, I just need to know that after you book. But I always ask that. It's not like, I will ask you questions. I will ask you all the questions that I want to know about you in a little form of like a questionnaire in the email that I send you when after you book. I'll say, hey, great, can't wait. Let's check out our schedules and see, where we can match up. How soon can you meet? And then tell me, how much you know and what do you want to know? Because I want to teach you what you want to know. I don't want to teach you things you don't want to know. So, it's easy. It doesn't matter to me if you know stuff or don't know stuff. Where do I get my images? Depends on the image. So this is going to be another TED Talk from Drea. A variety of ways. Let me move this a little bit because I feel like I'm already short and I need the help with the camera. Okay. Variety of ways. The one that I'm working on right now, I did this. It was me. I created this. This was my own. This is my own. This is a Drea original. Okay. But like this one is not me. I paid an artist for this. There's a girl that I work with. She's an artist out of Canada, and I paid for a license to be able to digitize her artwork. And so like I bought that from her, and I have a commercial license to be able to use it for the purpose of digitizing and selling the file. Her and I have an agreement. So I have about like 14 different artists who I have an agreement like that with. And that's how I get those. So it's either something that I came up with or like I paid somebody for it. It's really how I work. I didn't start off like having like this. I didn't start off like this. I've gotten to this point in like doodling and ideas. Okay. I was not drawing anything when I first started this. I only went off of stuff that I could buy, and that's how I started. So if you can find an artist who you vibe with and they'll be willing to let you purchase their artwork and will offer you a license to be able to digitize it, that's the sweet spot. And that's what I've found. And a lot of times it's me reaching out to them because, believe it or not, artists don't know that we do this. Like they have no clue that there are people digitizing embroidery out there. So, oh, lawsuits. I don't know anything about the lawsuits on. I haven't heard of that. That's crazy. Yeah, you don't need to be. Here's the thing too, like I do stuff also that isn't like, you can, believe it or not, like it's really popular to just have like text on sweatshirts. Have you seen, you know how many people I've seen even on TikTok just do text? If you can think up text and find fun fonts, like you can do the same. You can also digitize letters. Why not? People do it all the time. Look, why can't you do that? Let's see. Let me look at one that like for instance, you guys heard it here first. On Tuesday, say for instance, this one is also text only. It's gonna be for free. Okay, this is, you guys hear it first. This is gonna be a freebie. But the point of this one is that it's only text. It required your 0 drawing skills. All it took is just coming up with something funny to say, or whatever the reference is, right? Like, just, you don't need images even at the beginning. You can just do text. I've seen a lot of people who do text, or they do simple things like somebody did something strawberry farm festival. Like, there's just so many things you can do. Like, it's, you don't have, drawing in Stitch Artist is a requirement, but not knowing how to draw outside of Stitch Artist is not a requirement, you know? Exactly. If you can come up with a lot of funny, sarcastic text, hello, you can digitize that. And you know what's even funny? Like, you could, I do that also. Like, I hear things on the internet that I find to be funny, and I will just, you know, like, make it into a piece of embroidery. Like, I just think that's hilarious. Like, just stuff that I find to be funny. Like, where is it? I did this one. Again, this is me. I did this on my iPad before I actually started working on it. It's Professional Rester. And what I did with this one is, I didn't draw the daisies, okay? So before y'all think I actually drew something, I didn't. On Procreate, you can purchase stamp collections from people, like say on Etsy or on their own private professional websites. And it's literally just a stamp. These daisies, I just tapped my Apple Pencil and it gave me daisies. And then I just came in here and digitized the daisies. And then I typed this text out on my iPad. Like, this was so, see, and it's funny, like, so whatever you can think of, you can make it into a text. Like, that's the beauty. That's what I keep telling people. Embroidery is, you just get to express yourself. I mean, even like this one, like, this one is, you know, hex more, say less. Like, it's just words, and then sometimes you can even just take text and then find small elements. Like, I found, like, you know what I mean? Just find small elements that go with it and then just digitize them. Like, it's for everybody, okay? So, and have fun with it. Like, this is the part where you get to express yourself. And that's what I enjoy about it the most, is like, you can be yourself in an art form, right? Because I'm not, say, like, can I go and, like, I can see pictures in my head of like how I wish art would look. Can I then translate that to paper? No, it's not happening. It's not happening. I don't have that ability. But I can express my personality through stitches, because I can do these things. I can make funny text or sarcastic text into embroidery that you can then see. Like, it's a way to express yourself. And you can express yourself without having the ability to draw. Like, I just find elements and kind of like mix them together. So yeah, I get, that makes sense. That makes 100% sense to me. That it stops there. And I wish I could just like take what I see in my mind and even tell someone else so they could do it for me, but even then I'm not too good at describing what I see in my mind, in my mind's eye, you know? So yeah, don't let not being able to draw like stop you, because I am not a skilled drawer either. But I make do by kind of like, I don't say cheating the system, but I found little cheats of things I can do, right? Like stamps or things like that, using fun fonts like I showed you on this professional fun fonts, using fonts and little things like a bat, a star. Like, does it take any skill to get a star in here? No. You also have fun stuff like Sorry. Oh, that's the male person. Oh my God, scared me. I was like, is it my backyard? No, it's the male person. Okay. You also have outlines that come with you that can help you, right? So like, I'm going to need a heart right now, which is why I came in here. Do I have to draw the heart? Technically, no. I'm going to steal one here, shrink it down, and then I'm just going to fix it so it looks like mine, right? Like, maybe these aren't going to be so pointy, a little straight, oh, like a little fatter or whatever you want. Like, you can manipulate stuff that's already in there. You don't need to reinvent the wheel every time. Like, there's a reason why there's stuff already there. Okay. Now this will be level 2. That was a level 2 thingy dingy, but you could easily change that without that tool. There's ways around it. And then see, look, I'm copying, pasting, and rotating. Like, what? That takes 0 skill. Okay. It's like pasting in a picture and then just manipulating it a little bit. And now I have to think. Probably, see, I'm thinking if I should do, I probably won't make these satin lettering because they're really small. Oh, this I also did on my iPad in Procreate, if you're wondering. That's where this came from. I have a lot of things, like I will draw things. I use this app so much. It's the best thing ever. And especially since nobody can tell you that it's not yours. Oh, yeah, so here it is. Look. Let me put the background on. Yeah, see, so I drew it first. And then I like saved it to, I think it was Dropbox in this instance. But if you have an iMac, you could like airdrop it. If you have a Mac or something, you could always airdrop it to yourself. But this is what I do. Like, even for this, look, I was making tiny little books, and I literally just came in and typed out some text and then used a stamp. Like, ingenuity, okay? Ingenuity. You just work around, okay? Work around for those of us. There are some that I have, like, drawn. Like, if you saw the I released applique cowboy boots in the last upload. I did draw them in here first. So I drew this. And let me show how it came out in real life. Where did I have it? Oh, we just were there. We were there, Trey, but no, we're not. This is it. Right here. And this is how it looked after. And then this is like a simplified version of what like I drew. So see, there's drawing. There's the boot in real life. And then this is how it looked. I did a little mock-up so you could like see what it would look like on a jacket or something. I don't know what people are gonna use it for, but I drew it first, and it's really simple. They're just lines, guys. They're just lines. It wasn't anything fancy, and like a cloud. I think we can all draw a cloud, right? Like, doesn't take mad skill for a cloud. You can do stuff. Don't let people tell you. I'm here to tell you that you can, okay? The rest of the world's gonna tell you you can't. I will disagree with them. Okay, but sorry, I'm gonna go to stick lettering now because I was... Or how do I want to do this? I don't know. We'll see. What other color? Let's stick with a pink, maybe? Oh gosh, see? This is the hardest part, okay? I'll be honest. This is the hardest part. Coming up with your color scheme, okay? That's a real... People need to talk about that. That's an actual hard thing, is figuring out the colors you're going to use. Okay. And they will be line... I'm going to do line lettering, tie in at the beginning. And then I need to think of where this exits. I learned Procreate on YouTube. And no, it wasn't hard. Once I figured out, it's super easy. I heard the price went up. When I got it, it was $9.99. But I hear that now it might be a little bit more. But it's a one-time investment. Like, you only pay for the app the one time. And this was, oh God, how many years ago? I don't even know. So long ago. And I'm still using it. And again, you can put it on as many iPads as you have. If you have family sharing, you can share it with your kids. Like my kids use it, and literally, not that they're drawing like that, but they just see that I use it, so they're cool too, you know? So we all just like draw on our iPads together. And that's fun too. Like if you let your kids do it, you could then like turn their stuff into embroidery later as like a gift or something, like bring their characters to life. That would be fun. Yes, but no. You don't have to learn. Okay, so I wish I could. Let me think of how would I say this. I guess let me just show you. It's not hard. Okay, so blank screen. Okay. It's super simple. There are quite literally only a handful of buttons on here. One is a paintbrush. So when that's clicked in blue, that means you can draw, which is a stamp. Oh, sorry. I used a stamp last. See what I talk about stamps? Look. This is how I added the hearts, because the last thing I made was that heart, the flowers thing that I'm working on now. And then it's cool because like you could double tap and it it's undo. So, and then you can actually, if you click on that brush, let me go to an actual pencil of some sort. You pick a brush, and here's the cool thing. It helps you if you're not good at drawing in some instances. If you have a pen or a brush that kind of has like some lag time, it's called smooth. It like smooths out lines for you. And this one has that. Like if I go, look how it curves. See how it curves even though I'm not too good at curving? It smooths out the lines so you become better at drawing than you really are. Okay, to be honest. It makes you feel like you have skills you don't actually have. That's what it is, okay? And it's super easy. Or you can mimic, like they have a whole library here. Like if I look literally for something that says sketching, there's actual pencils. Like this says Procreate pencil. And now when I come on here, and it gives you like a feel of a pencil. Like look, pencil sketching. You can even feel cool, like you sketch. I got sketcher. Yeah, cool, whatever. And then there's other simple buttons like the eraser button is to erase. Like, come on, I guess it's not hard. And then there's also layers. So can you layer? Yes. Depending on what you're doing, you may want to. Layering, think of like a group of things. Like let's go back to the flower the one we're working on right now. I'm gonna show you my layers. So see, look, these layers, for instance, are like, say the pizza. There's a little arrow here and it lets you move it. Like maybe I don't want my pizza slice there. Maybe I wanted it over here. Maybe I wanted to like turn it. That's a whole layer. You get to manipulate the whole layer, make it bigger, smaller, whatever, right? And that's why it should be its like own layer. And then you can copy and paste the layers. So if I want another slice of pizza, I have a pizza layer selected. You slide it, duplicate, and then you hit an arrow button. And now look at that. Oh, hold on. That's not the one. Duplicate. Where's the duplicate one? No, I didn't duplicate it. Duplicate. There we go. Move it. And now look, I have a third slice. And I can move that slice wherever I want it to be. It's not hard. It's really not. And there's also like something called like fill-in coloring. Like you don't even have to really color. Let's say I wanted to make those pizza pepperonis pink. If your color chip is up here and it's a pink. If you grab it and drag it to what you want to be that color, look, now it's we'll get closer. Sorry. Now it's a pink pepperoni. I'll do it again. Bring it here. Drag it and drop it to the center. Oh my god, it colored it for me. It's so easy. It's so easy. It's crazy how easy this shit is. Okay? It's super easy. If I can figure it out, anybody can figure it out, okay? And that's saying something, because I have zero technical drawing skills, okay? So if you want to hear from someone who really has no skills, and I was able to do it, y'all can do it easily. So. Oh, that's different. Oh, interesting. Thank you for sharing that. You asked them and they don't allow digitizing. Interesting. Unless you took, oh, hey, that's a great idea. Thank you for sharing. So like, let's say you liked a picture, like if they had like say a Highland cow and you add like some text to it or use it as an element, like how I used it here, like how I use bats here. maybe you could then insert an element from one of those things you've licensed and mix it with some text and stuff. Like maybe that would be a good way for those of you that don't draw but do have access to, say, that website. Like this might be the workaround for you, because you know drawing's not we don't got the talent, right? And that's okay, but we have somewhere we can go to get elements for the artwork we do want to create. So maybe that's a good workaround. Maybe try that, and then you can combine the two, right? Sublimating. I didn't even know. I'm learning so much today from you guys. I didn't know about any of that. Because from what I mean, I have heard from people that it was that they always says like commercial use or something. I guess I don't know what that. I guess it's not the commercial use they were saying. Like that's interesting. That's wild. Why would they say that it's for commercial use then? That's crazy to me. Yeah, I'm learning. I'm here for the tea, so I mean, I learned all this today. I had no clue. But I think we just figured a workaround. If that's the case, based on what they said to you, maybe you can do that. Use the elements, but then like come up with something else clever or whatever like you're into, and just use it as an element. Yeah, see, that would make sense to me if someone just like downloaded them from there and then just went onto their own website, pretended they were theirs, and then resold the like PNG. Like that would make sense. I would be mad about that. Like that makes sense. Like who wouldn't be upset? Like they didn't do anything, and then they're pretending it's theirs. That seems messed up. That's wild. Oh, I just realized that. That was not what I wanted. No kidding, man. The more you know over here. And then, oh, hold on. Another tip for y'all is I do have, okay, so whenever you make something, it doesn't matter what you're in, stitch artist, whatever, have a special file where like once you've nailed an element, like the back came out great. This is like my favorite sprinkle, all these things around satin. This looks the best satin I have ever made. Come in here and keep it in its own file. I call it like Drea's Elements. And what I do is I just literally cut it because I know it's perfect. And then I'll just paste it. And why do you keep doing that to me? I swear. You keep telling me I'm not on the interwebs or whatever. This happened last time too, but except on this one, I'm gonna do this little tricksy trick I like to do. And it's gonna look like it's connected, and that's fine by me. All right, that'll work. Let's see. Yup, there it is. Excellent. Even though we're not working on eggs right now. Cheat code unlocked. All right, let's group this. Copy, paste, send it over here. Rotate it, because why am I gonna make this letter again? I'm not. And now she's good. Let me see, where did this one end? Up here. This one should be, yeah, that's good. A good jump there. Where's this end? I'm pretty sure it ends at the bottom. So then I can go here, up, around, and then you need to start there. I already did the eye, so I'm gonna steal all this, group it, copy, paste. We're gonna fly through this. Pizza. Oh, it's gonna make me hungry. Let me think. Hold on. Let me look at the... Let me look at the what comes with it. Because okay. Because I can teach you how to do it with... Okay, so is there technically a 3D puff setting? Yes. Do I use it? No. But I just need to make sure, because the way I teach it, it looks better. Sorry, no hate, but it looks better. I just need to figure out what the specs are. Let me just see. I don't remember. That's a good question though. No, look at that. Okay, the way I teach it, you don't need level 2. No, I can teach you how to do it with level 1. All right, hold on, let me verify. Wait, let me go back in. Let's border. Yeah, right, because that's satin. Border. Right. Feathering. Yeah, if I can show it. Yeah, look at that, because this is what I need, look. All right, so this is level 1. You're able to feather your... Yeah, no, I can teach you how to do it without level 2. Because that's how I do it. Yeah, let's see. So let's go look at one. Oh, I should work on that. Sorry, I'm getting all distracted. Okay, no more distraction. All right, so I'm going to just show you why I say you don't need it. So, all right. Real talk. When you come in here, technically there is... Okay, so these buttons down here where it says foam ends, that's what you would get. And I think it's 2. Is it 2? Probably. And they cap and bridge your ends, whatever. Technically, it's a button you press. They don't work too good, okay? Is my point. So I don't use those. As you can see, like mine say none. And this is a 3D design. I don't use it. So I'm just proving to you I don't use it. Instead, what I do is I make my own. I cap my own edges. And all I need for that is... where was this at? This satin feathering function, which according to level 1, you can do. So I actually use level 1 to make, technically, to make foam. Because foam really just is really dense satins and capping the satins so that it perforates the foam to encapsulate it. We're just encapsulating foam. And so you don't, unless you really want that button, which you don't need it. I'll be honest, you don't need it. I do without it, and it comes out just fine. So you don't need it. I could teach you with just level 1. Well, hey, okay. I'm not saying you can't do it with level 2. You can. I'm just saying how I teach it is like, well, called old school. It's not reliant on pressing a button. It's it. Okay, use the button. You can try it with the button. That's fine. 3D foam. Let me show you. My brain. So it basically means like, oh, here's a good, for instance. Do you see that? It's like, it looks embossed. It looks raised. You get that by stitching. It encapsulates a puffy foam. And because the thread goes over and encapsulates that foam, the foam lives underneath it and it keeps it up and it makes it look puffy. So it gives it a 3-dimensional look because you can't achieve that with just the thread. So it's actually, there's some foam under there and it's encapsulated by the stitches going back and forth like this. So there's physically pieces of foam under there and it's encapsulated by the thread. that's what 3D puff is. So yeah, I did this. I make my caps without words. With just level 1. But yes, technically the button for it does get unlocked at a different level. Not saying you can't use it, but if you're asking me what I do, that's what I do. Okay, the honest answer is, do you need it? No. Can you use it if it's available to you? Sure. Why not? I just don't. I tried it. I just didn't care for it. It wasn't for me. So the most valuable thing, in my personal opinion, that you get out of level 2 is being able to control the angle of your satin or easing of your satin. Let's go back to that professional rester. Okay. So for instance, let's look here. Do you see these? It's basically just these little, kind of like 2 little yellow balls attached to this connected by this line. These are your stitch angles. Now, whichever way I turn these, notice the satin goes with it, and we'll turn it on to this like rendering so you can see that it follows the line. See, wherever I move this, the stitches follow in that way. So we use these to control it, to make it look and follow the shape that we want. So you can add these stitch angles in level 2. Now, if you watch the replay from last week, I show you the difference. And here's the thing. Can you still achieve this curvatures with level 1? Yes. I will show you the difference on how to do it if you don't have level 2. You can still make letters. Just how you will do it will be like, you'll just think about it a little more. But it's possible. I'd made the same exact letter using both tools. Excuse me. So yeah, that's the most valuable thing, in my opinion, is the most valuable thing you will get out of level 2. That's what I use most of level 2 for. So, and for the drawing tool, you can also draw with columns, which is basically like using blocks. Oh, for sure. Okay, I'll answer both of these questions. Okay, let me answer both of these questions. Let's go find something else that I might already have. Let's find wait, why is that the preview? Is that supposed to be that? Sorry, I just got myself confused. All right, so let's take this as a for instance. This is probably going to be, actually, hold on, let me delete some things. I will eventually, this is an applique I did that I will be converting and repurposing for a patch. But I don't want the straw. Okay, so let me show you how the difference between, so the question was, let's talk about the difference between a column and a border. Here's a good for instance, okay? Think of them, they're both technically a satin. It's the same thing. The same exact stitch, the same exact way. It's just how it is applied to the path you created will be different depending on which selection you choose. So when you think of satin border, think of frame. It'll run along the line that you've created. So if I say satin border, it makes a satin line, a satin frame, however you want to think about it. It follows the line you drew. Okay. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you have only level 1 or level 2. Everybody gets satin. All the satin options, everybody gets them. It doesn't matter. This doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. Everybody has this ability. Okay. Now, what makes something a satin column is the satin kind of works like, and it fills stuff. So like, let's say I do this and I say satin column, it filled it inside, right? Let's use this O as a for instance. Now, if I say satin border, look how crazy it is. Do you see how it's different? It followed the two lines that I drew and it actually put the satin on the border instead of filling it. The column kind of fills the inside, whereas the border kind of follows the outside. It's like a frame. Does that make sense? It's like a frame. And it doesn't matter because everybody gets access to satin column and satin border at level 1. Everybody has this button. It's just how the satin is applied is different. So now if I go back to a column, and again, I only use level 1 to create both of these O's. Okay, I just want to be clear. This is nothing special. This is all level 1 anyway. All right. So, okay, what's the other one? Okay, I'm going to answer because you asked me how do I add those. I haven't forgot, my friend. I have not forgot your question. It's going to tie into the question of what's the difference with Stitch Artist 2 and the blocks. Both of your questions are going to be answered here. Okay, so now I'm going to do for instance, okay? So let me just take this off. We're going to pretend this is, we're going to redraw this eye. This is what you get in level 2. So for the record, y'all, this is a level 2 function, okay? Level 2. And it is this button right here that kind of looks like a curved ladder. And when you click it, the way that you draw, which normally we kind of play connect the dots. Remember that game where they would like give you a worksheet and it had like dots and you had to follow them, order 1 to whatever, and after you connected them, it would make a shape, a car, a truck, a house, something. That's kind of how you path in digitizing. You make those dots and eventually they connect to make a shape. It's the same thing. Now, for columns and building with blocks, this tool, we have to scrap that. Instead now, we have to draw stuff by going side to side. And you make either a ladder, a column, a block, whatever you want to call it. But you have to follow a pattern. So I'll just show you because it's easier just to show. So you click, and instead of following along the outside, which we normally do in like level 1, now instead we're going to go to the opposite side. And then we're going to come back to the same side. And now look at this. It looks like a block, right? It looks like a rectangle. And we have to keep following this pattern until we have created the column that we want, right? All the way to the bottom here. And when you're done, you can hit enter on your keyboard. And what happened is every single rung that I went across to make like a rectangular square situation also leaves me with these stitch angles. So they're included. It's like a 2-for-1. Now, if I wanted to add stitching, okay, so that's how you do it. Now I'm gonna use this one. I'm gonna fill it. Now, if I already have this, notice that like, let's look at this on this way. Look at these stitches, okay? They're weird, they're awkward. Definitely not the direction they should be going in compared to the one we just looked at, right? Which actually, let's do it, for instance. Let me get that one back. Hold on, let's steal these 2 lovebirds and let's move them over here so we can only look at them. And we'll do a, for instance, okay, so see, notice this. This one, they follow those angles that were inputted, right? Oh, and it looks nice. Let's look at it, right? Oh, that looks nice. It's straight across. It looks like it flows. It looks smooth, like it looks like how it should. Now, if this one, when I add to it, look at their stitches in comparison. Like a damn mess. Like, look at this. What on earth are these? What is happening? It's supposed to look like this. So why we would add, and then again, so now this is gonna be a level 2 function. If I have level 2, I come up here and it looks like 2 circles connected by a line with a plus sign, and it says add inclinations. Or you could be me, hit the letter I on your keyboard. You see, it makes that button get pressed. And now you will drag and drop these, and every time you drag across and drop, it will make one of these angles. And then when you hit enter, see how it looks more like the other one now? Because I overrode the system and I said, I don't like what you're doing. I want you to do what I'm telling you to do, which is make these angles like this. And that's how you add them in. Can you delete them? Yes. All you have to do is like take them off, like slide it off, right? Easy, breezy. That's it. And it's the same thing. They're both the same. It's the same situation. Okay. All right. Hopefully that explained it. That's how you add them, and that's the difference between drawing them. It's just simple little things to make it happen. So that's how you can add them. That's how you can use that drawing tool. And like I said, anytime I use something that is not level 1, I will make a point to tell you before I do it, because the rest of the time, assume everything I'm doing is level 1, unless I say otherwise. My point is there's so much you can do in level 1, because if you've noticed, I haven't spent a lot of time telling you I'm not using level 1. Again, it's very powerful. It's great. It is a bang for your buck. Let me tell you, like, it blows my mind every time that that they don't charge as much as some other people. It's crazy. I also love that I can use it on my Mac. That's plus for me. Right. Oh wait, no, maybe I don't want to do that. Oh, let's rethink our lives here. It came from over there. This way. All right, now I can do the V. All right, so we ended. To think ahead. V. All right, I guess still E from up here. Paste, drag it down, turn it around. God, that felt like a cheer or something. All right, you end here, so you need to come over. Oops, no, not you. Just your little bow tie. All right. I got my warm-up has lasted 2 hours. I apologize. I'm very easy to get put on a tangent, if you can't tell. We'll talk for... That was always a complaint growing up. You talk too much. Oh, maybe y'all don't talk enough. Okay. All right, let's see. It's great. Okay, well, I mean, if you're here for it, I'm technically here for it. So, okay, so the crosshair is just for the purpose of this video. Like, just, I do this usually when I am live, and that's a level 3 function. So that's called a precision cursor, this. And I pretty much only use it so you guys can track me when I'm on screen. Otherwise, it looks like this, and it's kind of small. I don't know if you guys can see that. Is it hard? I feel like my mouse gets lost. So when I'm not live, this is how my mouse looks. But for the sake of everyone to be able to follow me, I use this special cursor. And you have to have level 3 to use it, but it doesn't matter. Like, it's not make or break. It's just for the purpose of instructional purposes. I use it so that way you guys can track my mouse, because it's really hard to see that tiny little bullseye. Can you explain how you know where to put the end? The end red box? Okay, tell me more. Tell me what I did, and then I'll... Because I just finished this. This is now done. So tell me what we mean. Where did I use a box? Are you talking about like where I ended it? Like how I'm drawing? Oh gosh, this could be even bigger than I thought. Oh, okay. Like where I end. Okay, so good question. Let me just move this, and we'll move on to something else so we can answer that. No. Not what I wanted. All right, let me just save this because this is finished now and I no longer have use for this. All right, let me think of a good example, because that's a good question. Let's go back to what I was working on. Oh no, we kind of already finished this. Sorry, let me find something that's I think it's easy to explain. So whenever I digitize something, I guess let's go back to this professional wrister. Connecting stitches. Do you mean like for line work, or are we connecting like to satins like as a travel? Like what are we connecting? How are we connecting? And yes, I'll tell you. Okay, so even though this is kind of all over the place, probably because I used this to teach, so it was for different things. Let's talk about what would be easy. Transition to, okay, let's just work on the letter N. That would probably be easy. All right. So whenever I'm pathing in general, I'm always trying to think of what's going on around me. What came before, what will come next, what overlaps, what doesn't, what will transition to the next thing. And so as I'm sitting here, for instance, going to draw this letter N, since there's nothing directly next to it at the moment, there's nothing for me to focus on. So I will just make whatever, changes. I'll just draw my shapes, which for letters, you should always break them down into simpler, more manageable pieces. And for me, it's going to be 2 pieces for the N. And this has to do a lot with the directionality of the stitches, because this will have to go in a different direction than this one wants to go, and they'll be opposing. So they should therefore be like separate. So I'm just going to draw this shape. And again, I'm still using level 1. I haven't done anything. I didn't add angles or anything, so everything you're watching is just 1. I haven't used the level 2 drawing tool or anything like that. I'll let you know if I do. I'm trying not to. Because I don't need to. So if I don't have to, I won't. Where that one's going to be a problem. Yeah, see, that's weird. Okay, we're not going to worry about that. We're asking about how do we know how to set these up. Okay, so let's turn off the background. Let's turn off the stitches. Let's just look at them like they're just simple lines. So for reference, green bow tie means start stitching here. Red bow tie means stop stitching here. So what I would like to do is, depending on the order that they're in, right? So technically this one's going to stitch out first. Wherever this one ends, if it's then going to I want it to then transition to the next element in a logical place. Now, if they overlap, it should be in a place where they have an intersection. If it's next to, it should be like a shortest jump kind of situation. So we're going to do overlapping first. This is where they overlap, right here. Where would they intersect? Technically here and here. I will choose one of those places to then drop this. So it could either go here or it could go here, but it has to be at an intersection. Okay, I'd probably pick this one. I don't know. It just feels right. There's not a logical reason. My brain's just telling me put it there because it likes it. It makes it happy. I don't know. And there's not a technical reason. It's just I liked how it looked. Now, whatever's next after it, I have to then make sure that since the green bow tie is instructions to start here, I need to make sure I move it back to that same intersection where I dropped off that red bow tie. They both need to hang out at that intersection because it's going to be a relay race. Where one ends, the next one's going to immediately start stitching. Now, whenever, depending on what I'm going to then stitch out after, which I already have this letter A, I'll probably come and choose down here so that way it's the closest. It just exits at the bottom and then it would segue into this letter A. If the A were closer, I would try to make it kind of jump or try to see if I could finagle that into it being a more seamless transition, but it's not going to be possible just because of the nature of this end, but so this is going to be shortest distance to the next element that I possibly can do. It is what it is. You just make the best of what you have. So that's how you do it. Yeah, you move them along the line. And remember, these bow ties can only be moved along the path you drew. You can't like put them in the middle or something. Like, it doesn't work like that. It has to go along the path that you drew on the outside. Now, if I have something where it's going to be like line work, which is what I want to do, like where's my, gotta have some of these open. Let's close a bunch of these. Okay, because I want that little dragon. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna make, what did I do this again? I'm gonna do this again. New. All right, so like I'm gonna be, that's the next thing I want to do is I'm gonna work on another one of these dragon baby quilt things that I drew. And let me get the image for that, and then I'll show you, because you have to use that same logic when you're also doing line work. And I mean, I don't know why. I don't know if I'm a glutton for punishment or what, but I love line work. I don't know why. It's fun for me. It's like a puzzle. Some sadistic puzzle, but it is, it's a puzzle. I probably am just twisted in dark, and that's why I like it. I don't know. All right, let's see. What are the other? Is that the only one I exported? I guess. All right, so this is probably the next one. Oh no, I'm trying to. What am I doing? No, I don't want that. Go away. I meant to drag and drop it. This is what I meant to do. Okay. All right, so now this would be line work also. So I'm gonna land up. So what I did here. Oh, I have the stitches off. Same thing I did here. I'm gonna do to the other one, which I'm just gonna still this because this is my quilt square size, and I just need to make sure. Oh God, it's so much bigger than I was working in. Okay, just kidding. My step one: always make your graphic fit your workspace. Always do that first. Yes, good. I'm gonna lock this so I can't accidentally grab it. I'm gonna lower the transparency a little bit. Let me save this right quick, and then we'll talk about that. And then the other one is, oh yeah, connecting stitches. Okay, yeah, so like jumps and stuff. Oh yeah, that's easy. We can talk about that. That's like running travels and things of that nature. Gotcha. That's what I would have assumed you meant, but I didn't. I don't like making assumptions. All right, where's my quilts blog square? What number was this one? Oh, 8. Quilt block 8. Oh, got it. Let me save quilt block 8. 8 saved. Okay. We will be doing travels in this also. But let me see if I can find one that already has it, just so you can see it ahead of time. Okay, so this is literally the shirt I'm wearing right now. I'm going to show you how I used travels. So I'm going to turn all the stitching off, and this is what it looks like underneath. And I'm going to hide everything else so we can only focus on where I traveled. Okay. So, okay, we don't need to worry about this either. I'm going to close. Oh, and the other one too. Hello. All right, so here it is. Now we turn the stitches back on. All right, so this is what it looks like. So in this design, which I am wearing, these wings stitch out first. Now, in order to alleviate the need for a trim or a jump, because I knew I needed to move from one set of wings to literally across the entire illustration to the next one, I literally drew a line. Okay, there's a line under here, and you can't see it because the rules for traveling are it needs to be then hidden later on in your embroidery. Like something else has to live on top of it. If you can't hide it, we have to travel through the shadows, right? We're going through the tunnels, we're hiding in the shadows. It eventually needs to be covered up by a different element. So that's the way to travel. It has to be, there has to be something like that has to happen. So that's why I did it there. And you couldn't see it, obviously. You don't see it here. But it alleviated the need for a reposition or a jump or a trim, and it just runs across. The other thing I like to do too is I actually like to make it a single running stitch, and I like to increase the stitch length. And that's just because instead of it going like 2.5 millimeters, oh, it takes forever, these tiny little stitches, it'll make bigger stitches to get to the next side faster. So it's kind of like skipping along or hopping along to the next item. So that's an option also. And that will alleviate that. But again, something has to live on top of it, which is why you can't see it. You don't know that there's literally a thread down here at the bottom of my shirt that's connecting the wings, but you don't see it. That's the point. We travel in the shadows. No one can see that we're moving. And there's different ways where you can creatively move around stuff, even if, let me see. I think on this one it is. Is it this one? I'm trying to think of somewhere where I've had to like also creatively run around. Did I on this one? Shoot, I thought I did something recently. What did I do recently that I was like, oh, just run back to that spot? Because you can. So here's the thing. The secret is you can do whatever the hell you want, okay? Literally, you can do whatever you want. Like the rules. Oh no, I think it probably was in here. Just kidding. I think it's in here. It is in here. Okay, let me show you another for instance then. It is in here because I just saw it. All right, let's unlock these. All right, so let me show you what I did. All right, so what I did was I went from, okay. All right, so my problem was the same thing, right? The wings became a problem later when I did the black outline. And when I finally finished covering over this outline and covering this outline, my new problem was I wanted the wing outline on the opposite side to also be under the shark outline. And the only way to do that was to travel. So here's my travel. So it stitches out this, ends here, and then look, I ran underneath, because remember, it has to hide under something. What is it hiding under? The big outline for the shark body. It runs under there, and then it comes to this. Then it goes to here. Then it finally makes that. Okay, another place where I ran around. Didn't I run around in here? I did. Okay, another, for instance, was connecting all these pieces together. Let's look at them kind of without that 3D rendering. So this was part of the wand. And then what I wanted was I wanted the arm, because perspectively, the arm is over the wand. The wand's behind it, right? If I'm holding the wand, it's behind my hand. So I can't then have the bottom of the stick be stitch out on top of the hand. So what I did is to keep that is I then ran under the arm to the bottom part, and that's way down here, this bottom part. And then that stitched out, and then the arm went over both of them to cover it. And so it all runs like it's one, like they're all in cahoots. They're all running together. They're all in on the scheme. They're all working together. And that's because I was able to run around. So you can run in different places. You can run across, you can run around. Something just has to hide the run, okay? We have to eventually cover it with something. The other thing too is if you're really creative, you can actually run along the edge of something. Like I could run like this, but that's like, maybe don't try that right away after, maybe that's like next level. But there are really creative ways that you can say run or travel. Just know that it needs to be hidden by something. Yes, I have a Melco. I certainly do. She's actually right here. She's arm's distance. She's directly to my left, right on the edge of my computer screen. She's definitely not on right now. It would be so loud. Okay, sorry. Now I'm analyzing this. And I like to work center out, so I'm trying to think of what is the middle here. Where's my, oh, not the grid I want. Let me take a thing here. Oh, come on. There it is. At 0. These are guidelines, right? Oh my God, why can't I think today? All right, now I want to see where the middle is. Okay, so I'm going to work my way out of apparently what is the hip, I guess, for my little dragon. Guidelines are easy. You pull them up from the ruler. It's kind of hard. It's very awkward. You have to like try a few times to drag it down from the top. But see, look, I got one. And then you do it in the direction. So like if you want it this way, you got to pull from the ruler on that side and drag it out. And this is helpful. And then you can always move them. So if you hover above it, you get these things. And like I can move it as I need it. But I'm lining it up over here with the zeros so I can see where this is at. It also helps you if you want to draw like straight lines or mirror something. I promise you this is not intimidating. This is actually really easy. And it doesn't seem like it. But when I look at something like this, I'm not looking at it as the overall. You have to start to hone in and focus on simpler pieces. Because yes, if you look at it, it's very overwhelming. As is this first one, right? Like this is overwhelming, but it's really not. It wasn't if you were here for that live. Oh, sure. Yeah, you can reach out to me. I do. I hold like beginner embroidery sessions. I hold digitizing lessons, all kinds of things. They can all be booked on my website. My website's underneath my face here, or you can easily find me in the link tree in my bio. So. No, that's the same one I have. Yep, we have this. I have the same machine. I got the same one. Okay, so I'm going to start on this piece. And again, I'm not looking at it as its entirety. I'm looking at it as smaller, simple shapes, simple lines. I'm not really looking. If I think that too much, it is overwhelming. So I'm going to narrow in and just think of it in little pieces. It's like what they say. You can eat a whole elephant if you take a bite at a time or something like that. You know, just not all at once. We got to take a bite at a time. I love elephants. That is a terrible saying. Okay, so I'm going to kind of work, and I'm just going to flow. And I'm just going to pretend like I am tracing this, because that's kind of what this is. I'm just tracing. And you can be creative with how you trace. And here's the thing. It's going to be a bunch, I promise you. One thing I promise you for sure is this is going to be a bunch of little pieces. And I'll prove it because look at how many pieces this one has. This one has 140 pieces, okay? It took me 140 bites to make that one square. But now I will just do the same thing. I'm just going to focus on little lines, and I'm going to focus on where they kind of intersect with another little simple shape. That's it. I'm focusing on small things. Simplicity is best. I'll even like zoom in on my screen so I don't have a lot of other things distracting me or overwhelming me, or so I don't see my progress, right? I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Don't tell me. I'm just going to zone in and focus on this. I am going to change it though because I need it to be the preferences that I want it to be. And I'm going to move this little bow tie over here because I now know that I'm going to probably connect it to something here. And I'm just going to make other shapes. What would you call this? Like a half a, looks like kind of like a half of a heart perhaps. And I'm just going to keep making small shapes and connecting them. That's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to focus on making little things and connecting them, and then just making sure that they will start and stop and interconnect, right? So it stops here, Has to then start there if I want it to keep going. And I'm just gonna keep going at it in small pieces. I'm not stressed. I ain't worried about it, okay? I'm not worried about it. Y'all shouldn't be worried about it. None of us are worried. Now, let's see. What I will do though is at some point I will zoom out, because I will need to think about like what do I want to do, because I do want it to connect. And I'm just looking at my path, because like the option will be at some point I'm gonna have to go up and down and then like this. Should I do this now or wait later? Decisions. See, then there's not a right answer right now. What would I want to do? Actually, I probably would plug it in before. Maybe I could do it before the hip. I'm not gonna worry about it right now. That is 3 hours from now Dre's problem, because that is not my problem at the moment. I will not be worrying about that. All right, and now I'm just gonna keep making smaller shapes, because I think I already decided what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna plug it in before the center. So I already made up my mind. I ain't gonna worry about it. Okay, and I'm just gonna keep going, making these small little more manageable shape. And here's the thing, there's the fun part about this is there's not a right answer. So like you can see different shapes than I see, and that's okay, as long as we get to the same end picture. Okay, maybe you would have liked to do these loops first and then backtrack. It doesn't matter. Do whatever you want, as long as we get the same picture at the end of the day. It doesn't matter which avenue you took to go. As long as we get the same results. See, like now I could do it that way. If I wanted it that way, I could do it that way, right? Do whatever you want. Who cares? There are, I'll be honest, there are some times when there's a right or wrong way. Today, right now, there's not. This one is not, okay? In this particular project, this is a creative project, and so there's not a right or wrong answer on how to draw these lines. No. All I need to make sure is that we don't have any jumps. So actually go back. I don't like that idea. Undo. I'm going to show you how to, I'm going to travel. I'm going to show you how I'm going to kind of backtrack versus moving the start and the stop. It's super easy, guys. It's copy and pasting. Okay, I'm going to copy and paste. I mean, it's so difficult. No one will ever be able to replicate this. It's just the hardest thing I've ever heard of. So hard. All right. So what I'm going to do is the one that's going to travel me. So my point is to get from here to the top of the next one by a travel. So I'm going to switch this to normal. And I'm going to add a little dot there. And I'm going to delete all the ones I don't need. So delete, 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 delete. And now I'm going to have you outline reverse points. All right. Oh, wait. No, it's backwards. I need the green one. Okay, so now what happened was it's going to end the scales, run back up in a run, travel run. So this will not be a bean. It's a single running stitch. And then it'll come back and make all the pretty bean stitching. Let me save. So look at that. I just copy and paste it. I mean, it's you know, mind blown. I try to make it easy, guys. It's really not. And look at that. Look how much we've gotten so far. Let's try off the background. Here's how far we've gotten in our dragon and just talking. It's not bad. I promise you, it's not that bad. It isn't that bad. I wouldn't lie. Okay, don't sing. Ugh, no one wants to hear that. Ooh. Okay, we're gonna make decisions here. And go up and back down. Okay, stick with me. Promise. I'm seeing things. I mean, yes, like she's crazy. She's seeing things. All right, but I've got it. I see the vision. Trust me. Okay. So this one. Oh wait, did you move or not? All right. All right, do you see it? Let me turn the background off. This is my thought process so far. So what I'm saying, I'm taking different routes that don't make sense, but it will make the picture at the end of the day. So I'm trying to say, you can come up with shapes that you don't see with your naked eye, right? Like in this picture, technically the dragon's on top of the moon, but I'm making them segue into each other. It doesn't matter as long as at the end of the day it looks like. That's why I like line drawings, is we don't have to worry about perspectively what's on top and what's behind. So we get to play a lot more with the shapes that we make, and we can see shapes that aren't technically there, but we put them there just so it works, right? All I care about is that this piece runs how I want it to run. That's all that matters. And this is why I like, that's why I tell you, this is why I like line work. It's so much simpler. The rules, we get to play with them a lot. And now I gotta go back down. Yes, we do. Okay, so I'm gonna do from here, here, here. Oh, that's the wing. Okay, scared myself there for a minute. I think I'm gonna have to segue to the wing. So let's end right there. Actually, I could have gone. Oh well, I already committed. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Maybe the next life we would choose a different path, but oh well. Okay, now what I'm gonna do again is I need to travel down, so I'm gonna just do a copy paste. Make this normal. Enter something there. Reverse these points and flip flop these homies around. All right, and now it's fixed. Cool. Save. Always save your work. All right, so again, look at that. All right, let's check our progress. This is how far we've gotten. It's all right. It's good. All right, now I'm gonna move along, and the way I see it is me doing the wing now, and then I'm gonna try to make my way back to doing more of the back of the dragon, his scales, and this wing. So I'm gonna find interesting routes to take in order to make this all work together. Again, this is why I love line work, because you can be like super creative. Like, it's so much easier. I think it's so much easier because you literally make stuff up. If you like making shit up, this is a good time. This is a good one for you. And again, these, I'm just being creative about how I interconnect my shapes. And then I just have to keep track of where I'm going and where I want to be. Like, for instance, this. Hold on. See, now I gotta, you just don't want to come to a dead end, so I do need to come back up here. But hold on, let me think. Oh, okay, hold on. I could do this. Hold on, I could make you. Just gonna reroute myself, okay? Just gonna reroute here. But it's gonna be the same thing. Oh, you should be curve. Okay, now let me figure out, where was I? I was here. Hold on. Going from here. I'm gonna end at this top, which means I don't need to start at that spot. All right, cool. Solve that problem. Okay. All right, so let's do again, background off. This is how far we've gotten. You can run through line work fairly quickly. Now let's see, how am I going to, okay, I don't like that then. I gotta, okay, I think I'm gonna go from you to you. So I'm gonna switch up my technique here. That's what I like about runs and travels. You can make stuff connect that doesn't connect, and you can backtrack. You can move around with little consequence. So makes line work easier. And now this whole like moving bow ties thing, this is why I enjoy Stitch Artist more for line work, because of the fact that you can't move those, do that same thing in like Hatch. You can't tell it to start in the middle of a line that you drew. It won't do it. So that's why I like it for this type of work, is because I can do this. All right, and then I think I'm gonna do a small faux jump. Okay, so where do we end here? So then we gotta start there. All right, and then now I want to go. Okay, so I'm gonna go up here. All right, and these technically don't connect. So I'm actually gonna save this by doing so I'm gonna fake a jump. And I have a program for that. And now it'll just jump over there. And actually I need you to double back. So no, I don't like that idea. Okay, copy paste. You will be normal and you will be like deals. Okay. New thought. Okay. Now I have to remember I have to somehow backtrack over here, or unless I extend, I don't know, we'll see. We'll see. I can always redo some other things, but oh, I want that other one. Give it to me. Boom. Welcome. All right, let's take it back and see how we are so far. See, look how far we've come in the dragon. Fear not. We will do this. Okay, now I'm gonna make this interesting looking shape. I'm going to kind of give myself a head start here and fill in all this random part here that I haven't done yet, which is the head. Like I'll make a big old weird line. Okay, and I need you to start. Oh wait. All right, I'm gonna just. All right, reverse points. All right, now I need you to start here. Oh, that is the starting point. Okay, so you delete until there. Start here. Perfect. All right, save. Okay, so now look how far we've come. We are now gonna segue into this part of dragon. I'm gonna move to the arm now. Oh, what a cutie patootie. I believe I did this. Yeah, literally, I quite literally spent an entire weekend. Oh, the funny thing was, I was watching The Witcher. Had to watch something magical. I mean, I should have watched like House of Dragons or something, but maybe that's not really baby appropriate. All right, zoom out, because now I'm gonna do this part. All right, I'm gonna zoom back in and deal with the reshaping. Always best practice least nodes possible is the best, because in this drawing system you have what's called Bezier handles. It's these handlebars that allow you to manipulate the line that you've drawn, and it's easier to get smooth, clean lines if you have less points to work with. All right. Oh, I forgot. What is this? Ending. You guys gotta overlap. So like that. Okay. Save. All right, now I gotta, here's a little thing where we talked about running. So technically this is a dead end. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna make a run that mimics this line. Okay, I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna change the stitch type yet. But I am going to then make this one. And that will complete this moon dragon Moon dragon, sleepy dragon. Okay, well, let me fix this, and I need this to be a travel, so that way it can do that. Let's see how far we are. How long does a design take? Depends on the type of design and what I'm doing. So, like, I have tested myself, like, a small design, like the first one we did, where it was like the pizza forever, 8 minutes. Felties take me about 8 minutes. It took us quite literally 2 hours, but that was because, you know, I was talking and showing you other things. But if I'm just here in work mode, I've timed myself 8 minutes on average to make a Feltie design. A patch, like 20 minutes or so, depending on the complex. If it's really complex and it has like a lot of like shading and layering, and it'll take me longer. For something like this, I don't know, because I've done both of these quilt squares on live, so I'm not sure how long they take me without talking and answering questions. I didn't get, okay, I'll be honest, I was not always this fast. I trained myself to be this fast. And the reason why a lot of times people think I look like I'm doing fast is because this hand is actually on my keyboard pressing buttons, which allows me the time not to come to the top menu and pick buttons. So I appear faster because I'm using shortcuts with my left hand while I'm drawing. So it's, and then I know them by heart, and so it's easy for me to get around. Also, like, scrolling with my mouse is zoom in and zoom out. That's helped me. Like, holding the space bar gives you a hand and lets me drag around. Like, just things that make it faster for me to be able to do things. And so, yeah, and I teach people, when I teach people, I teach them shortcuts, because I feel like if you train yourself to use shortcuts from the beginning, like, you're already getting a head start and you're going to be faster than other people once you get that muscle memory down. So yeah, this is as far as we've gotten. Now what I have to think of is what's going to be next, which I think I'm going to segue to the word. It will be on YouTube. Yes, I am now uploading my TikTok lives onto my YouTube. I do timestamps. Like I said, if you look in the description on a TikTok, like the last TikTok live video, it'll have timestamps, and I'll give a brief description of, like, if it was a question that I answered or what the general topic was. So that way you can just go and find stuff that's interesting to you. And maybe if you want to come back, like, say you hung out with me for this live and you wanted to remember the spot where I talked about what's the difference between a satin border and a satin column, you can just go click on that timestamp and then just rewatch it instead of trying to remember at what point Dre was talking about that. Like, that's so infuriating to me when I try to rewatch something and I can't remember at what point in time. One, I don't know what time I came into the live, and two, I don't remember how long I was sitting in the live until she said the thing. So I try to make it easy for you guys. But yeah, it'll be on my TikTok live will be on YouTube. You have to give me some time because it takes time to download it. Some by the weekend for sure, because I also will have to watch the live to timestamp it. It's crazy. Okay, the things I do is crazy. But I will do it. I will watch it so you don't have to watch. We're at 3 hours. I will do it so that way you can just easily zoom. And it's easy for me too, because, like, I can refer people to the live from last week to learn about satin. You know, it's easy for me too because I can tell you which live to go look at, and then you can just click on the timestamp and then just watch that little blurb where I talked about satin columns in level 1 or level 2. It helps you, it helps me. I just, I have to do the work though. Drea must watch the video. That's the hard part. I have to watch the video and then write all the timestamps in. But it's okay. I will do it. Don't worry. So yeah, if you're following us correctly on YouTube, you'll get a notification if you have the notifications on, it'll let you know that I uploaded something new. So I'm going to go ahead and segue into the word flight. I think. Shoot, am I? It's either that or jump to keep. Hold on. Maybe I'll do this. No, I'll just do the word backwards. Okay, fine. All right, let me just make sure it ties at the exit, because if not, there'll be no point. All right, I'm gonna go and spell all of my words backwards. So I'm gonna do dragons dream of gentle flights keep. I'm gonna do we're gonna spell it backwards. And I will show you how I did, what time is it? Yeah, I have time. I'll show you how I added these little, I call them like little knickknacks, these little elements between the words so they kind of look connected. I call it like the friendship bracelet beads between the letters. We'll go over that again. So let me go ahead and start. Same thing, just find a way to travel. The easiest part with words that are handwritten or cursive is that they interconnect, which is nice. So they naturally want to overlap in some kind of way. So you don't have to find a way to connect them creatively. I mean, they just are. They are connected. I like that. That's why I like handwritten stuff too. You can also, like, I want to do this. Maybe I'll do it for, well, maybe I'll do it for Mother's Day or something. But like, I have a handwritten recipe from my grandmother, and I think it'd be cool to then give it to like my mom and her sisters on like a tea towel of like her most popular recipe. Like, you know, everybody's grandma got that one recipe that's just like, she's known for it, right? And it's in her handwriting. So I think I want to like scan it and then turn her handwritten recipe into like a tea towel, and then they can have it. I know they would love that. Okay, they would love it. So I think I'm gonna do something like that. But you could, all of this to say, my idea is that, you know, you can also do handwriting digitizing. Does that make sense? Like, or even if your kids wrote something, you could turn it into a keychain or a sweatshirt for yourself, or I don't know, whatever, grandma's signature, something that's important to you. You can also do that, right? Someone's handwriting. Digitizing handwriting is a thing. All right, cool. Now we're going to, all right, I'm not going to use a motif like I normally do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to steal, I say steal, I need to stop saying that. I'm not actually stealing anything. I'm going to use a shape. Maybe I'll do moon. I guess we might have the wish we wish tonight. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, let me change this color to the color we need, and I'm gonna think of how does this best transition between the words, because it ends here. And I'm gonna have to move everything because I did not account for the fact that there was going to be a shape between my letters. So right, I will have to, let me just play with this and see how they would look. Oh, that's cute. Okay, so now I just gotta make sure that where this ends, this begins, and it also ends where the T in flight will be, and then I'll just start connecting them. Oh, you always gotta get creative with the T, man. Every time. That's the only one though, that's kind of like T, and what's the other letter that I feel like always gets me? You always gotta be a little creative with these ones. Up, down, all around, and here we go to the G. All right. All right, and then make it look how you want. Yeah, make it look nice. Sometimes you do have to not necessarily stay true to the artwork, but just because it doesn't like look right sometimes, you have to make. And this guy, I can smooth it out with less point. This one too. Sometimes I gotta delete some of these points because it's just not like making the like it look as round as I want it to. I'm gonna take a step back. And let's do a little status check. This is how far we've gotten. Oh, yes. See, now it looks like the keep and the flight kind of run into each other. My idea is that it'll look like, it's like faux quilt stippling is what I'm trying to make it look like. So it's supposed to look like a free motion quilted design of some sort, except it's not. Okay, I don't want the quilters. You don't need to come for me, quilters. Okay, I can't do what you can do, so I have to make my own rendition. Okay. All right, now I think I'm gonna steal either a heart or a star for this eye. Maybe well, let me look at my options. Round star, maybe. Let's see how it looks that small. Or actually, I don't even think it's that small. I think it's kind of big. Oh dear Lord, why are we on 2 different designs right now? When did I do that? Girl, who knows? Who knows? All right, so I want to end and begin in the same spot. And then we're going to exit right out of flight. Take a flight for your life. All right. Okay, I will be making adjustments because the I and the L are like overlap, like the star is overlapping. So I think I'm just going to just grab all these, kind of move it, and maybe like tilt it and then make it a little more narrow. I would like for them to not like touch. So that's why I said, like, sometimes you gotta deviate from what you did. Like I said, when I drew this, I didn't quite know how it would look when I got here, if that makes sense. So let's go ahead and turn the background off. Okay, now I will need another shape to connect me from flight to gentle. I think I'm just gonna copy and paste this star and make it bigger. And then I'm gonna rotate it. I do want it to be touching. I know it's telling me there's going to be a jump, but if I do this, there shouldn't be a jump. And there we go, connecting. Now, I'm gonna have to keep moving these, everything I've done so far. I have to keep moving it over and turning it, I think, just so I can account for the stars and things. I think I'll move it back at the end. I probably will. I'll probably shift it more down this way, but just so we can see. How about no? Okay. And then let me know if y'all have any questions, because I already hit like 3 hours. So we'll do like 10 more minutes, and then I'm gonna be out of here, because my resolution was to remember to take a lunch break. So I will be doing that. I've been doing good so far. Yes, this will be on YouTube, and it will also have timestamps. So make sure that if you will be watching this on the YouTube, that you actually go and look in the description so you can go ahead and get the exact point in the live that you're interested in. So like it'll say the topic. So like if you want to see how to add the stitch angles again in level 2, go look in the description for where I have a blurb about adding stitch angles. And then you can click the timestamp. It'll take you exactly to that point in the live where I talked about it. So it will be timestamped. So you can go ahead and easily look through and find things that interest you. So you don't have to watch the entire thing to find your one answer to the one question you have. Because that's annoying. I'm sorry. I mean, that would annoy me. I'm just thinking of what would it be like if it were me and that would annoy me. And I'd get frustrated because I wouldn't even know where it is. And oh god, okay, stress me out thinking about it. I'm gonna stop. No more. TLC moment. Okay. All right. So yeah. All right. So when it tells, well, I know it doesn't say it for you, but when it says it's 10:10 for me, I'm gonna call it quits and keep up with my resolution for actually taking lunch. Gentle, cool. I feel like I want a heart next. Oh wait, there was a good heart on the first one. Oh, that was hand drawn. Oh, that's a good question. Do I? Oh man. Let me look. I feel like no, wait. Hold on. Let me look. No one's asked me that before. That's a good question though. I don't know. I would depend if you guys like what I draw, because the stuff I have drawn to teach off of is like I use this as a teaching reference because you actually can use all of the varying techniques for point drawing. Like you have to know how to use the various nodes and things like that, or like I've used that to teach before. I've also had this is just so crap that like I've drawn. I don't have, and they're not complicated. Like I mean, it's a Pop-Tart, or is it toasted strudel? I don't know what it was. He was somebody. I mean, I have like little things like that where like I drew them for fun, but like, and I've used them as examples before, but I've never like uploaded them or anything. I mean, I could, but no one's ever asked me that before. Like, can I have that? Oh, no one's ever asked me before. Yeah, just like random stuff I've drawn. So I guess let me know. I mean, have other things too. Like, I obviously love food. Okay, like just no judgment. I have a lot of food items, and this is stuff I drew. So like, there's no what do you call it? Like copyright. Drea drew it. There's no whatever the words are. I mean, so I don't know. I just drawn like random stuff. What was this that I drew? I even drew this like I don't know why I want to draw